everybody, and welcome back to Crime in Sports.
Yay!
Oh, yay indeed, Jimmy. Yay indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmie Whisman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us today on another crazy edition of Crime in Sports. We got more Billy Martin for you today.
God dang.
And, he does not stop. Can't stop, won't stop. He's going to be punching and drinking and screwing his life up this week a little bit more. So much fun. He's the Evel Knievel of baseball, basically.
Straight into his 40s.
Right. Oh, it goes on till his last breath, basically. He never slows down a drop. We'll get to that. Before we do, though, shutupandgivememurder.com is the website you need to go to. Get everything there, all of our merchandise you can get there, everything like that. Tickets for live small-town murder shows. There's a few left in Philly because we released some, so there's a few left, and then that's it after that. And D.C. is sold out, but you can still get tickets to the virtual live show this Thursday, October the 30th.
Great.
We can't wait. Just like a regular live show, except you can watch it anywhere in the world that you can get internet access. And we'll, just like a regular live show, the pictures will also be in costumes because it's Halloween and we want to look like idiots for you. That's what we do.
Right.
So can't wait to do that. And you can watch it for 2 weeks afterwards, too. You can get it. You can watch it every day if you want. You can watch it the last day it's available. Doesn't matter. Do whatever you want with it. Shutupandgivememurder.com. Also, listen to your stupid opinions, obviously, in Small Town Murder while you're doing that. And then get yourself Patreon.
Hell yeah.
That's where the value comes in, everybody. Patreon.com. I always wanted to say that. You hear that like in commercials. That's where the value comes in, folks.
That's the value.
That sounds like, that sounds like a really fun thing to say in a commercial. So honestly, Patreon.
That's beneficial to your life.
That's, to you guys. Obviously, best value. And you point to that, the biggest one. No, but value. Savings. Patreon.com/crimeinsports is where you get all of the bonus materials, and it really is a good deal. Anybody, $5 a month or above, you're going to get so much stuff. First of all, as soon as you subscribe, hundreds of bonus episodes you've never heard before. You can binge all of those. Then you get new ones every other week. One Crime in Sports, one Small Town Murder. This week is no different, and you get it all. This week for Crime in Sports, we are going to talk about team relocations and the drama that's caused. Teams moving in the middle of the night.
Drama?
Both. The drama and trauma that this causes. Yeah. We're going to do a bunch of it.
It confused my father his whole fucking life over.
Oh, it's so weird. So we'll talk all about that. Yeah. And then for Small Town Murder, we're going to do, there's a couple lists that I saw come out recently of the most haunted place in every state, most haunted building in every state. So we're going to go over them. We're going to find out how
50 of them, huh?
50 of them. How many sound like bullshit and how many we go, that could be interesting. So either way, we'll talk all about it. We'll make fun of people. You know how it works. There we go. Patreon.com/crimeinsports. In addition to that, you also are going to get all the shows, Crime in Sports, Your Stupid Opinions, both episodes of Small Town Murder, all ad-free with your subscription as well.
And you swallow, James? That's so
and
sweet.
I'll swallow for you. That's right. I say, well, either that or you can put it all over me. I don't care. Dealer's choice, everybody. And you get a shout out at the end of the show where Jimmie will swallow for you. So that said, let's get into Billy and see what he's up to here. When we last left off, Billy was getting in trouble for authorizing a beanball.
Yeah.
Which is just the oldest thing in baseball.
Yeah.
They throw at your guy, you throw at their guy. Usually the ump warns both sides, everything's over. That's how it works.
There's an infraction has been, what is that?
And it's rectified.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're right. You correct a mistake. There are unwritten rules in baseball.
Yeah. And it's kind of the way to keep the umps out of the game, kind of, because you hit one guy, he goes down. Okay, you hit another guy. Now he should be even. If anybody else goes beyond that, now you start throwing people out. But
now we come out of the dugout.
Yeah, exactly. Or head hunting is never okay. That's usually considered bad taste. You're going to drill somebody, you drill them in the ass. That's it.
Right.
Like a gentleman.
Or the shoulder.
No, you keep it in the ass.
Really?
I asked Rod about
Riblets?
that back in the day. No, ass. No, that you could break a rib like that. There's one part of the body where that ain't going to hurt you, and that's your ass.
Yeah.
So any pitcher worth their salt, unless they really hate a guy, They're aiming for their ass because you go up top, they could move their hands in, break a wrist,
Oh,
break
that's
a
all
hand, be out
face,
half the
too?
season,
Oh, God.
face, shoulders, anything like that. You don't want to break anything. You're just looking to bruise a guy a little bit and have him go, all right.
And then the ass is funny.
That's in the ass. Yeah, you drill a guy in the ass. That's the respectful way to do it.
Yeah.
Is drill a guy in the ass and like a gentleman. So,
But it seems like I don't think I've seen one in the ass.
oh, that's where most of them go, ass or back, because the back is another one.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The riblets in the kidneys in the
that's
back. That's
usually aiming for the ass, and that's what they're hitting, though, is the
got
thing.
it.
Because,
It's a little high.
Yeah, Rod said every time, if you don't want to hurt a guy, you're throwing at his ass, period.
Yeah.
That's how you're letting him go, I have to bean you, but I don't want to hurt you.
Yeah.
This isn't a personal thing. It's just this is
My
what we have
boss
to
told
do.
me to do this.
Exactly. And they get it. Because Rod was telling me one guy hit a home run off him. I've told the story before, but in case you never heard it. Guy hit a home run off him and took a while looking at it and then took a while getting to first base.
Yeah.
And Rod knew the guy and was friends with him, played in the minors with him or something, and looked at him and was like, I got to bean you next time.
Yeah.
And like 2 years later, he came up to the plate, and it's the first time he's faced him.
a while.
First fucking pitch, he said he walked up, looked at me, and like nodded his head like, I know I'm getting hit. And Rod was like, you're getting hit.
You're getting it.
Elephant memory. And he said, beamed him right in the ass. He put the bat down, walked to the bag. He said he explained to me that I wasn't trying to show you up. My manager was telling me to do something, and I didn't want to do it, so I swung away and hit a home run. So I was trying to show my manager up, and he goes, I get it, but I still have to drill you. It looked bad. You made me look. You made me look like an asshole, so I got to do it.
Nobody in the stands knows what your fucking boss said to you.
Exactly. But
everybody in the stands saw you disrespect me.
Disrespect me is what it looked like. So, boom, shot in the ass.
30,000 people saw you piss on my leg, you son of a bitch.
He said, hit him in the ass. He put his bat down, give him a little nod, like, all right, we're even. Okay, very good. No hard feelings, and we're moving on. But he said, ass is respectful. So, anyway, Billy is very upset that he's going to getting suspended for this. He's going to be suspended for 3 games. And
because he told the guy to hit him.
Yeah, and he said all I was honest. Every other time, the manager told him to do it, but the manager just never tells you guys. I just told, so I'm getting fucking suspended for honesty. The hell is that about?
Keep it above board? That's crazy.
It's bullshit. He said, I actually told Crandall, that's the ump, before the game at the plate that I was sick and tired of having their guys, that's the manager, throw at Toby Harrah, and Jeff Burrows. I told them we were going to throw it as shortstop. So beanballing went back and forth. And Martin said, did you see what they wrote? Because of my honest comment at the plate, I've been suspended. I've been honest all my life.
Wow.
I'm just an honest guy.
Yeah.
He said, I hope those umpires are happy about the report they sent in. I can't come out here to the ballpark. I'll stay at the hotel for 3 days, a long 3 days. And then he said, who's going to protect the hitter if the manager's not going to do it?
Yeah.
That's the way. Hockey has enforcers. You check my score too hard, you fuck with him, I'm going to get this big guy with no teeth to come attack your score, and that's how we're going to do it. And it keeps everybody in line. You have to have
in baseball, you got a pitcher.
Yeah, it's so odd in football. There is really nothing like that. There's nothing for that because the game's all contact.
Yeah,
there really isn't.
I mean, the linemen protect their quarterback, but there's really not much more than that.
There's not much more than that. It's not the same as like these because violence in these games are cheap shots, whereas in football, a big hit's a legal thing. It's totally legal.
That's the game. That's the goal.
Absolutely. So Billy said...
Now it's not.
No. Billy said that beanballs have been a part of the game for 100 years. It's still part of the game. It's always going to be part of the game. And anybody who's acting like it isn't is a fucking idiot, basically. So, anyway, here is from the book. They'll explain it here. At a Sunday doubleheader in Milwaukee, when Martin took out his lineup card for the pregame meeting with the Brewers manager Del Crandall and the umpires, he casually announced to Crandall, your pitcher threw at our shortstop 4 times yesterday. So I'm telling you now that your shortstop, who is, by the way, future Hall of Famer at the time, rookie Robin Yount.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, will be going down today. That's it. You throw it at my young shortstop, I'll throw at yours. Yeah. That's it. And that's the unwritten rule of baseball is don't tell anybody you're doing it, even though you're doing it. And you know you're doing it. And everyone in the park knows you're doing it. And the ump knows you're doing it. But just don't say it because then you're a bad guy.
I mean, it was a slip. He
so
loose,
stupid.
That's all.
It's so stupid. It's just dumb as shit. So he got a 3-game suspension for that. And this is while he is in the running for the Manager of the Year award, making the Rangers from the worst team in the league to a contender. Yeah. So, he's like, this is, what the fuck, He said, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm doing something right, and then I don't know, it's crazy. He said, how did I know the Rangers would draw 1 million? Well, I knew people would respond to winning baseball. Why shouldn't I say that if I thought we could win? This year has been a different kind of challenge, a different kind of test for me as a manager. It's the biggest I've ever had. I don't like to say I'm surprised the way things turned out. You could see in spring training that Lenny Randle, Jim Sundberg, Mike Hargrove, Joe Levitto — Mike Hargrove was the Indians manager in the 90s — and Toby Harrah could help this club. Now Cesar Tovar is a guy I really went after. So he's like, I constructed this. I built it, and then they came. So, yeah, that's how it works. Okay, here we go. Billy Martin, October 5th, 1974. This is an article from the Daily News. Billy Martin, Texas Rangers manager who had almost as many fights as Muhammad Ali, recently slapped Bert Hawkins. This is actually very funny. There's a story from the book about this, and we'll get to it.
Who's Bert?
The 60-year-old road secretary for the team, for the Rangers, in the face during an argument on a plane. This Billy was out of line here, completely out of line.
You can't hit the guy that just types.
And he's 60 years old is the more of a fucking problem here.
Slapped him around,
which is insanity. You can't just slap the guy. But I guess Hawkins, everybody saw it on the plane. The fucking reporter saw it, for Christ's sake. And they were wondering, they were going back and forth saying basically how, are we going to report this or not, basically.
Yeah.
Was how it works. And then somebody reported it, so everybody else had to report it too. It's like, well, he can't get the scoop.
So now he's going to be in 6 different publications beating up an old man on a plane.
Apparently, yeah. So here they said from the Daily News, it says there were 2 arguments. Witnesses said that the action described as a slap came several minutes after Martin, who's 46, shouted at Hawkins. The argument centered around an attempt to form a Rangers Wives Club. Okay, this is where this started. This is how it comes from the book, too, which Hawkins supported the idea of a wives club. Mm-hmm. And Billy said, fuck no, we're not having a fucking wives club.
What are they going to do?
They're going to get just to hang out together and have a social thing for team building. But Billy says, I don't want the wives getting together because when they get together, they start talking and guys start getting in trouble and they don't play as well. I don't want to fucking do that. Keep the wives separate from each other.
Yeah.
That's the idea. These guys want to cheat. You can't have them coming home and having one wife say, yeah, my husband came home with this, and yeah, mine came home with this, and they talk about it. Next thing you know, it's a mess. So,
or you don't need a wife thinking every guy is doing the same thing when she assumes that hers is just maybe he just has a wandering eye. No, they're all doing it. Oh, great. Now we can all hate each other's husbands together.
Back then, it was the general consensus was keep all the wives as separate as possible.
Yes.
That's what they used to do. So they said, actually, there were 2 arguments. At first, the first, which a coach broke up, Hawkins moved to an empty seat in the rear of the plane. Martin, who was up front, seethed but said nothing. Then Hawkins returned to his original seat in the front of the plane, and Martin began to berate him again.
Don't come up here now.
The slapping followed. Hawkins has a dual role as traveling secretary and public relations man, and he said, I may drop the traveling job after that.
So do this locally. Yeah.
I'm going to think things over for a while here, is what he said. So, and remember, the other traveling secretary, for, what was it, Detroit, he beat up at the hotel, in the hotel lobby. So he does not like fucking traveling secretaries.
People with big mouths.
Man. So from the book, From Seasons in Hell, the Mike Shropshire guy writes, you won't believe what just happened, Walker told me. Billy just punched out Bert Hawkins. Walker was right. I didn't believe him, but my earlier suspicions that Billy's psyche had already advanced to the attack phase were all too correct. Billy was no longer a baseball manager, but rather an aggressor nation eager to declare war on somebody. You get 5 drinks in Billy and he turns angry. That's all there is to it.
It's got to settle some scores, whether you're involved or not.
Doesn't matter. What happened was this. Martin started shouting at Hawkins for the ridiculous reason that Bert's wife, Janet, had expressed an interest in forming some sort of Rangers auxiliary. In other words, Rangers Players' Wives Club. Now Martin was demanding that Bert make Janet abandon the plan. Martin said, the goddamn wives will poison a ball club if you let them. The last thing you need is getting them organized. The fuck is wrong with you, he said.
Yeah, don't make a union for the wives.
Yeah. Our guys need to concentrate, is what he's trying to get at. So Hawkins predictably suggested to Billy that he might go fuck himself. Wrong move. You go, okay, Billy, we'll talk about it later, when you're sober and on the ground.
Yeah.
Fuck 30,000 feet when you've had 6 scotches. This is bad.
Or just go ahead and go fuck yourself in the front of the plane.
Either one. He might go fuck himself, at which point Martin offered to heave Bert out of the airplane.
Yeah.
If you think you're big enough, Billy boy, then give it a try, Bert responded.
Oh, Bert.
Oh, man, he's just asking for it. Thus challenged, Martin got up and smacked a 65-year-old man with a heart condition across the face. Well, don't talk shit if you can't back it up. I mean, honestly, if I'm 65 with a heart condition, I'm shutting the fuck up when somebody wants to.
Shit.
Somebody's mad at me.
Big enough? Jesus.
I wouldn't say that. Other than that episode, it was a quiet flight to Kansas City. Other than the manager attacking the fucking team employee. Once at the airport, Billy marched about 27 paces ahead of the entourage, and once outside, hopped into what appeared to be a 65 GTO with front-end body damage. That's just all of Billy's cars.
Billy's got a GTO that he ran into something?
All of his cars are like that because he drives shit-faced every night, so he bangs into shit and just keeps going. He's like McNulty from The Wire. Like, he just fucking crashes. He's like, I'm Billy Martin. It's all right, and he keeps driving.
65 GTO is a good car.
It's a fucking sweet car, yeah. And sped away in a cloud of exhaust smoke. Billy's gal needs a valve job, one of the players, Steve Hargan, noted as the rest of it smokes. As the rest of the Rangers climbed aboard the bus for a trip to the hotel. Hawkins wanted to talk to the players about what happened on the airplane. His message included some colorful usage. Quote, if that sorry little cocksucker doesn't apologize, then I'm going to the ownership of the Rangers and tell them they can stick this job up their ass. All right. That's what Hawkins told the team.
I'm going to get an apology out of Billy Martin, that little cocksucker.
A little cocksucker.
I wouldn't say that.
Yeah, he's probably going to get hit again. And he added that until he had made up his mind, he hoped nothing would be mentioned about the airplane debacle right away in the newspapers. He told the newspaper guys. And back then, they said that presented no problems because by now everyone was safely past deadlines. It's like, well, we already filed our shit for the day, so.
Yeah.
He says, my phone in the room at the old Mulbach Hotel was ringing at the inhumane hour of 8:30 a.m. It was Bert Hawkins, and he wanted to see me. This is the Mike Shropshire guy. Yeah. By the time I reached Hawkins' suite, the other 2 writers, James Walker and Randy Galloway, were already there. Galloway was preparing his special Grand Prairie Bloody Mary recipe, which consisted of 2 ounces of Tabasco, 9 ounces of cheap vodka, and a teaspoon of tomato juice.
9 shots. 9 ounces?
Dude, the Fort Worth air conditioner's even more. He talks about that in this book, the Fort Worth air conditioner.
That's a drink?
That's a drink, which is just about 8 ounces of tequila and some ice. That's the Fort Worth air conditioner. Well, a water glass of tequila.
At breakfast, he's having 9 shots.
Yeah. These writers drank. Everyone back then drank.
Yeah.
I don't know how any of them lived past 30. They drank an obscene amount of booze that I couldn't imagine putting in my body.
A teaspoon of tomato juice? Is that what it was?
Yeah. And I mean, I'm sure he's exaggerating a bit, but it's just a bunch of vodka.
That's a crazy drink.
It's like when we get martinis at the steakhouse here.
That's flammable.
Good God, Jesus, I can't walk, please.
I can run the car on this.
Yeah, exactly. Put some olive juice in there, for fuck's sake. We're dying. Hawkins' mood was drastically altered from what we had seen just hours earlier on the team bus. Now that the hostilities had abated, he seemed actually jovial. He said that the little Dago himself had paid a visit to the suite and described Martin as a living portrait of contrition. That's the other thing, too. A lot of times, Billy does shit when he's drinking and then feels bad about it later. That happens, too.
And
I would never. I don't think we're drunks.
I don't think there's. I mean, the number of senior citizens that I wouldn't feel bad about smacking
Oh, it's huge. My list is never ending. I don't care how old you are. Being old does not allow you to be a cunt. I'll smack your old face, and I fucking thrill myself with it.
But there's... I think that the number dwindles as it might start expanding soon, though, because I'm in my 40s. Fuck, it's almost a fair fight at this point.
That's what I'm saying. Oh no, this is from a young age. These old people need a smack. That's the thing. They need to realize they're not in charge anymore. God damn it! And I'll show you how much you're not. Pow! Shut up. Sit down, old man.
Grandma.
Take that, Grandma. You're going to listen to us from now on, goddamn.
Your recipes aren't that good.
No.
Sugar cookies suck.
Yeah. No, most of the people that are senior citizens I want to smack are paid with taxpayer money.
Oh, yeah.
That's what they are. They're fucking... Not real life people, political people, I'm sure.
That list seems to grow
it's huge.
daily.
It's huge. Most of Congress.
But random private sector folks. Oh, there's very few that I wouldn't feel bad about hitting.
I would feel bad about hitting old people for sure.
Most of them.
Most of them, yeah. Except for that one guy every once in a while, you know who he is. He can
from time to time.
He can
one crops up and you go, he's just never been hit. Is that what it is?
I think it is.
He made it 72 years. He's never been punched in the mouth.
The amount of people on a daily basis that I see and go, you've never been punched in the fucking mouth for what you say, have you?
You've never felt that numb.
It's shocking.
Yeah.
Our country needs, every town should have a kid puncher.
Yeah.
Somebody who is authorized fully to take a kid at 16 who's done something shitty, said some dumb shit,
and just
nose. Fucking drill him right in the mouth and go, that's what happens when you run your fucking mouth. That would be so advantageous to this world. Half the internet wouldn't exist.
Yeah.
Fucking, it would be amazing. YouTube, all these fucking creators and all these comment people. You know what? I'm scared of getting punched in the face again. I'm going to shut my fucking mouth. Or they've been hit so many times they don't care anymore. Those are the options. One of the two.
Yeah, it's that numb, and then you lose taste and smell for a second.
Oh, you need it. You need
that
it. It's so good for you.
Where you go, oh, my body just master reset. You need that.
You need a Control-Alt-Delete for your body, for sure.
Yes, you need to realize that you're not in charge of fucking anything.
Nope.
There's always somebody that's more in charge than you. Always.
That's it. So this guy goes on. He goes on to say, old Bert was clearly amused by the experience of the new Billy consumed with humility. Quote, I suppose Bobby Brown threatened to fire him, said Hawkins, because Billy was really kissing my ass. You all should have seen it. Hawkins was laughing now. According to Billy, nobody was to blame. Booze was the real culprit. Yeah, that's Billy. Then Hawkins issued a special request. Now that Billy had been sufficiently humbled and his apology had been formally accepted, wouldn't it be better for all parties to just forget the whole shabby episodes? In other words, leave it out of the paper is what he's asking.
Yes.
Hey, guys, everything's fine.
Keep it in-house, yeah.
This whole affair, for sure, was like Galloway's Bloody Mary. It had an unsavory taste to it. Janet Hawkins' club efforts had ignited Martin, and the publicity of the airplane event might restoke the furnace. Furthermore, this was the lurid sort of media event that presented the potential for one story eventually to become several stories. Before it was over, I could see myself interviewing shrinks and social scientists to learn their views of the appropriate role of the baseball wife in contemporary culture. Because this could get way out of hand if this goes in the paper. Then it gets bigger than just two dudes fighting in the front of the plane. Right. Now it's should the women be involved. And he's like, do we just, say kids. Fuck it? Yeah. Bert then added that in my case, ignoring the incident might not be that easy since the ceremonial publisher of the newspaper, Ammon Carter Jr., was on the Rangers board and knew about what had taken place. Galloway and Walker then agreed that it would be my decision and mine alone to determine whether the story should run. Mm-hmm. My personal policy on matters like this was clear. As long as nobody was killed or arrested, why bother the reading public with the sordid particulars? That's how it was back now. They would have filed that story, and it would still be going on in the plane, and they'd be fucking have tweeted it out already. And
boy, do they love the clicks.
They love it. Oh, it's all the click. This is an ultimate clickbait thing too. Billy Martin beating up an old man. That's fucking wow.
The manager of a professional baseball team just slapped a senior citizen.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
This next sentence, keep in mind this is during the Watergate scandal. If Billy made headlines every time he, quote, caused a scene, there wouldn't have been any room in the paper for any Richard Nixon stories.
Wow.
It's every day with Billy.
Yeah.
He said, at mid-afternoon, I called the Star-Telegram's morning sports editor, Bob Lindley, in his private office that was located in the tap room of the Pecan Valley Municipal Golf Course. His private office is a bar, obviously, and outlined my predicament. Lindley was the type of man who heartily endorsed labor-saving measures and therefore a great editor. Do whatever you want, he told me. I don't care. No one gives a shit about this. Yeah. So in the press box at Royal Stadium before the Saturday game, I informed my writing colleagues that a decision had been reached. The airplane incident had never taken place. Bert Hawkins was now officially unslapped. Okay. Oh. The Rangers beat, as we know this, not how it developed because I was reading an article from the paper before this. The Rangers beat Kansas City that night and again on Sunday to officially wrap up second place in the American League West. The flight to Minneapolis, where the season would end with 2 meaningless day games, was as festive as any I would experience with the ball club. The players could not have been more boisterous if they had won the World Series. In Minneapolis, they staged a team party at Howard Wong's restaurant. The media was excluded, and later Jim Fregosi told me that even with the Howard Wong discount, the liquor tab ran dangerously close to 5 figures. Holy shit.
Yeah.
1973?
Yeah.
Spending fucking over 10 grand or 10 grand on booze. Yeah, that's insane.
That's a lot of alcohol.
For like 30 guys?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
In 2008, when did I get married?
Wow.
A while ago.
It'd be hard to do now.
I spent, I think, $800 on alcohol. And
that was
everybody was destroyed.
Yeah. This is crazy.
I ruined them with booze. And $800, $1,000, 10 grand, and how long?
Just an evening.
One night.
Yeah. One party, wow. One sit down. That's crazy.
Jesus.
So imagine my surprise when I opened my Wednesday morning Star-Telegram, turned to the sports section, and read an 8-column headline across the top of the lead page: Martin apologizes after airline altercation.
Oh, that's good.
All the nasty details of the flight to Kansas City were outlined in detail in a story beneath Harold McKinney's byline. Hastily, I phoned McKinney to inquire as to what in the name of God was going on here, and was informed that James Walker of the Times-Herald, upon returning to Dallas, had spilled the beans, Harold McKinney's words, to his editor, the esteemed Blackie Sherrod. Let me say here that I sympathize with James Walker's thinking at this point. Walker found himself stuck in a dilemma where it was necessary to spill one's beans to cover one's ass. Mm-hmm. Without a doubt, Blackie Sherrod was and still is the best-known sports writer in the history of Texas journalism. With the possible exception of Jim Murray in Los Angeles and Mike Royko in Chicago, he enjoys the largest regional following of any newspaper writer in the United States. Blackie, I think, actually attended high school with H.L. Mencken, and naturally is a product of the old school of journalism, as opposed to the new school that Mencken apparently found revolting. Consequently, James Walker's heartbreaking confession generated shockwaves in the Times-Herald newsroom. So, the Martin Hawkins conflict would see print after all. 1 week after the fact, and the Morning Star and Star-Telegram, or Morning News and Star-Telegram would follow suit the next day. This, I told Harold McKinney, makes me look like a total idiot. Screw that, said McKinney. I'm the one who had to come in on my day off and write this goddamn story. And don't sweat it, the whole thing's already blown over. So this caused ripples. Even the newspaper guys got in trouble. The whole thing turned into a fucking mess. So, of course, Billy Martin, right after that, is named Manager of the Year in the American League.
Oh.
On the field, can't fucking argue with it at all.
Yeah, he's the best there is.
Absolutely not. No way to argue with it. I mean, they came close out of nowhere, and they called it the Great Turnaround of '74, and like it was a huge deal.
And the Rangers were dreadful, right? They were a bad team for the worst. Long time.
They were they were the Washington Senators, who were terrible forever.
They moved because they stunk.
Washington, first in war, first in peace, last in the American League. That's the old idiom of them. So this is. They go to Texas. They're abysmal. Billy Martin comes in. Now they're in second place. So that's a big fucking deal.
Wow.
Not too shabby. Right under that, by the way, there's a nice ad. The sales, Jimmy.
Oh,
you can get a 5th of John Handy Esquire Scotch. John Handy Esquire. Okay. Yeah. It's a blended scotch, clearly. Ooh. $5.45 a fifth.
Oh, fuck.
That is rough. That shit.
What is that? $15 today, probably?
Probably more than that. Like 20 or so. That seems overpriced for shit scotch, right? That's what I'm thinking.
For blended.
Yeah. That is.
You don't want blended anything, right?
I don't want to fucking blend. No, single malt or nothing.
Yeah,
fuck you.
want
Unless it's like Johnny Walker Blue or something. And even then, I'd rather have a 20-year-old Macallan or
even reds like wines. I don't drink red blends. That's disgusting. I want a Cabernet or I want a specific one. I don't need fucking blends. That's gross.
No, that is gross. And
that sounds like you're fucking making a bottle that shouldn't exist. There's a little bit left of everything. You're making it.
We put a little Cabernet and some Merlot together. Those were popular for a while, though. Those blends.
Yeah,
they were very popular
because they're cheap. Because it's not.
Well, yeah,
it's not what you want.
There was a few brands that would be like $11 for a bottle, and that was that years ago. Yeah, a few years ago.
Because it's a blend. It's a bunch of shit together. It shouldn't exist. We had a little bit left of everything, and now we have a whole bottle.
Now we have a whole bottle. So here's an article about Billy. Billy Martin, manager of the Texas Rangers, spoke for a full 30 minutes yesterday without spitting on the floor. He didn't tell anyone to go bleep, and the only time he used the Lord's name was in reverence, not vain. Hard to believe, isn't it? Said Billy Martin. Everybody expects me to come out cursing, getting into fights, and just basically being a pain in the butt. I received that image when I played ball with the Yankees, and it's always stuck. That's because you keep doing it. You beat up your fucking traveling secretary on a plane, you psychopath. The fuck are you talking about? He knows first and foremost he'll always be thought of as a cocky, smart aleck punk, sort of a combination of a garbage-mouthed street fighter and Genghis Khan rolled into one. Jesus.
Yeah.
He said, I guess I've never really been accepted into the baseball world because of my maverick image. When I first became manager, they laughed at me. They told me I'd never make it. How could I, they would say. I couldn't handle myself. How could I handle 40 players? It bothered me for a long time. Man, did I get uptight over it. But if you threw a rock, it would miss everybody. If I threw a rock, it would hit him. And even if it didn't, I'd still get the blame for it. Okay. He said, but I'm 46 now, and it's too late to change the image. My middle name has always been Trouble.
Wow.
That is amazing. That's a great line. My middle name has always been Trouble.
All right.
That is fucking amazing. I got to write that down. That's going to be the name of this episode. My middle name is Trouble for sure. Yeah. I make no peace with my God. I'm sorry, it's an old newspaper. I make my peace with my God every Sunday, and I cope. Oh, I'm no Alvin Dark. I don't wear God on my sleeve. I wear him in my heart.
Oh.
He also said, I don't get into fights as much as I used to. I just get as hot now, but when I get into it, when I go into a fight, I try to stop it, not make it worse. I'd feel terrible if I slugged a prospect and damaged his career. You don't hit your guys on your team.
Right. Yeah, you're not supposed to.
He said, now if the opposing pitcher was to throw at my team, that's another thing. I'd go up and slug the opposing manager. I wouldn't care about ruining his career. But I don't fight on the field anymore. The umps don't know that, though. They still think I'm going to smack them. I just scare them. I get as close as I can and back away just to let them know I'm around. Okay. He said, my 10-year-old son, Billy Joe, came up to me one day last fall and said the kids in his class said that, quote, your daddy is the guy who yells at umpires all the time. Which I would be like, that's awesome. I'd be like, yeah, totally. He totally is. I told Billy Joe that I did talk a little loud to the umpires because the players I represent would lose respect for me if I backed down defending them. Also, I told Billy Joe the umpires are a little hard of hearing sometimes. Tells them they're a little older. Man, he said there's only two things that I require out of the Rangers. One is that while we're traveling from Texas to another city, I ask them to wear a shirt and tie. Once we get to the hotel, they can wear a toilet seat if they want to.
Yes.
See, once you're out and about, fine. But on the plane in the airport, I want you to look like a respectable bunch of guys, which is fine.
After that, wear a toilet seat if you want to, wherever you want to wear it.
Knock yourself out. Yeah, while you're getting a blowjob in the alley.
Whatever.
We don't care.
Okay.
The only other rule I have is that when the national anthem is played, I want the players to stand on the dugout's first step and hold their hat over their heart. I love my country, and it's good for a kid to see that. All I want from a player is performance, not the way he looks, talks, or acts. A sports team is like a salad. You have a lot of mixed ingredients. Yeah, he doesn't care what your personal shit is as long as on the field it works.
He said, "Fucking hat on your chest."
Yeah, he said that people have tried to push me around for what I believe, but I won't budge. I'm not ashamed one bit for what Billy Martin is.
Okay.
Here's from
third person. All right.
Third person. That's right. Yeah. It's the first time we've really heard him talk like that, so that's not bad.
Yeah.
If this is a Ricky Henderson episode, we would be on number 685 by now.
But he's doing it. That's pretty impressive.
Oh, he's doing it. This is March 1975. This is from the FBI files again.
Oh,
dipping into the FBI files. Billy Martin receives a letter here addressed to Mr. Alfred M. Martin. So they have his real name. At the Surf Rider Hotel, which is their spring training location in Pompano Beach, Florida. This is from the FBI files. They said, on or about April 3rd, 1975 at Pompano Beach, Florida, victim, who is a manager of the Texas Rangers Major League Baseball team, received a letter which contained traced left hand, above which was typewritten, "Set the Yankees back 100 years by wearing that uniform. He didn't make a fool of himself at the Copa and other things. You were the worst to ever pull on that treasured uniform. 47-year-old juvenile. Think about death and start to live." Interview of the victim, and a redacted name from the Los Angeles Dodgers, failed to determine the identity of the subject. Authorities in New York alerted, no further action taken, and there we go. So everybody was contacted, but he's getting sort of death threats, I guess you could call them.
Yeah.
So, 47-year-old juvenile. Let's see. Typewritten, suggest following lines for it. Okay, that's something else. Oh, your tombstone.
What?
It says on page 2 of the letter. Your tombstone, Alfred Manuel Martin, May 16th, 1928, at Berkeley, California, to May 23rd, 1975, at Flushing, New York. That's where the Mets play. Sure. Any changes in above should be sent to, and there's an address in Vero Beach. Interview prior to receipt of letter with Billy Martin determined he had no knowledge of sender, but claimed to have not seen letter as it was turned over to the authorities by his wife in care of the Texas Rangers. Martin departed the South Florida area for Dallas, Texas, April 3rd, 1975. Above reference to something else, redacted Vero Beach, probably refers to where the Dodgers who trained in Vero Beach. Okay, there we go. So he's getting threatened to be murdered.
Over what?
Who knows? Apparently
anything, huh?
Yeah, in May 23rd, 1975, that's that's when they're going to kill him, apparently.
Wow.
So that's how that works. Who knows? There's a lot. He gets a lot of this type of shit, like hate mail.
Just death threats? Really?
Yeah. And then they found that they said they interviewed somebody, a Los Angeles Dodger, interviewed by the bureau agents in California. This person advised the agent that he had no knowledge that such a letter had been sent, that he did not send it. Oh, because he thought somebody else might have sent it. And he could. And could he think of anyone else who might have? He stated that Martin had an altercation with somebody that put this incident had long been forgotten and now considered Martin to be a friend. So they're talking all sorts of people around Major League Baseball, seeing, do you know someone who hates Billy Martin? Right. This doesn't sound like a player, though.
Right.
They're talking about he got in a problem with some other player or some, who knows, management person who everybody's saying it's forgotten, though. The guy wouldn't send him a death threat. So, they said Martin was interviewed regarding the matter at the time, but was not available, has never been furnished again to do it. So a lot of FBI stuff here. Martin was advised that if he considers himself in any imminent danger as a result of the threat, he should contact local authorities in New York. Don't bother us.
Yeah.
Mr. Martin advised that he had only heard about the threatening letter. Okay, that's good. He said that during his playing years, he had received numerous threatening letters, all of which he just tossed in a wastebasket and paid no attention to them. He said he's not concerned about this letter, and he considers it to be the work of a prankster or a nut. He did say the Rangers baseball team will be playing in Flushing, New York on May 23rd, 1975. That is when they were redoing Yankee Stadium. So this was the season that the Yankees were sharing Shea Stadium with the Mets.
Okay. A remodel of it, not the tear down and rebuild.
No. Just this is when it went from old Yankee Stadium to new Yankee Stadium, where they got rid of the weird, the older facade and put all that shit. So, So anyway, they said, that's when the date would be. He's threatening to kill us at the Yankee game. And there's that. Now, 1975 Texas Rangers, 79 and 83. Third in the AL West, and Billy is not going to last the season.
And he's got to be pretty upset about it, right?
There is so many times he's manager of the year and fired. It's amazing. It's incredible. It happens so many times with him. So, this year, Toby Harrah has a good year. Mike Hargrove's an all-star. Otherwise, still not great. Now, From Seasons in Hell, the book, talking about the spring of 75. Okay. Shropshire says, with little more than a week left in what had dragged on and on as a marathon spring, Martin would refuse to let camp close without at least one skirmish.
You got to wrestle somebody.
Got to fight. His opportunity arose in paragraph form, buried in a meaningless and obscure spring training feature article about the Yankees outfielder Elliot Maddox that had run in the Fort Lauderdale paper. Maddox, the ex-Ranger, had not figured prominently in Martin's plans at the conclusion of spring training. 74. He dealt Maddox to the Yankees in a minor transaction, and Maddox had surprised both teams with a strong season. Now, in the Fort Lauderdale paper, Maddox said that Billy may have written him off prematurely as a Ranger and was quoted as saying, Martin has a habit of lying to his players. Oh boy. That's going to get you a punch. Billy Martin is probably the only manager in the history of big league ball who would choose not to ignore a remark like that in a recreational environment like spring training, particularly in a publication that wasn't exactly distributed worldwide. Some local Florida paper, who cares? Martin regarded the article as a call to arms. Martin's pressure valve was teetering over into the danger zone when I sat briefly across from him in a booth at the Banyan. Elliot fucking Maddox, Billy spat out his words. I was doing him a favor when I traded him to the Yankees. He wanted to go to New York. Isn't that something? I should have sent him to Spokane, the minor league team.
Yeah.
Maddox has one good season. Now he's running off at the mouth. There's a lesson here. Give a skunk a break and he'll piss in your face every time.
Is that true?
Is that a lesson? I've never heard that lesson before, but you know what?
I've never given a skunk a break. You might be right.
That's true. Billy Martin might be teaching us things we need to know. You know what I mean? We don't know that.
Yeah, give a mouse a cookie, but give a skunk a break.
Oh, my God, please. Naturally, the Rangers had a game scheduled against the Yankees at Fort Lauderdale the next afternoon. Elliot Maddox would probably lead off for the Yankees. Surely, Billy wouldn't insist that his pitcher Jim Bibby dust off somebody's skull in an exhibition game.
Yeah.
But as I reclined on the press box roof at Fort Lauderdale, I gazed down and was that a mirage, or did Bibby just hit Maddox on the shoulder on the first pitch?
That's so crazy.
He used to go out and plunk that guy. Yeah. Wow.
I can't believe it.
Mike Bibby's uncle?
Yeah. I can't believe it.
Another Rangers pitcher, Stan Thomas, threw in the direction of Maddox's head and missed in his next at-bat. So in the next inning, the Yankees' Mike Wallace plunked the Rangers' Dave Nelson. Then both teams were out on the field. Burroughs was wrestling with Yankees manager Bill Verdon. Meanwhile, Martin was attempting to fight his way around the familiar figure of number 32, Yankees catcher Elston Howard, in an apparent effort to attach his hands to Maddox's throat. He just wanted a fight to break out so he could go fight so he could fight Maddox on the field. Elston Howard, by the way, not the first or the last time he'll break up a fight involving Billy Martin.
Oh, is that right?
No, he definitely won't. Afterward, Jim Fregosi told me that, quote, this had to be a spring training first. The games don't count, but I guess the tempers are real. Billy Martin remained in peak form as he changed clothes at the end of the game. I saw Maddox and I told him he was gutless, Martin said, describing the acrimonious folk dance that happened earlier. I called him gutless, Billy repeated, and he didn't say anything back. Why? What do you guess, Jimmy?
Because he's gutless.
Because he's gutless, exactly.
I just told you why.
That's right. That's why. He's a disgrace to that uniform. He sets the Yankees back 100 years. What would guys like DiMaggio think? Calm down, Billy. This is... This is really just you're pissed off. It's fine.
He loves to bring up DiMaggio every chance he can.
Yeah, because that's the one thing. It's like reverence. It's like in Blazing Saddles when they mention that guy's name and everybody like looks down and says it in reverence. It's the same thing. That's what it is for Joe DiMaggio. It's like people take their hats off. Joe DiMaggio, like it's holy.
God rest his soul.
God rest his soul. About 24 New York-based print and on-the-air reporters were there to record Billy's sentiments. That afternoon's whole spring training urban street scene, plus Billy's erstwhile post-game oratory, had been concocted entirely for their benefit and possible amusement. It occurred to me then and there that Billy Martin was not protecting the honor of his good name. He was auditioning for a job. The Yankees had failed to win a pennant for the previous 11 years, and Bill Verdon, the incumbent manager, maintained all the charm and charisma of an old man's nutsack. Okay. I mean, that's not very charming or charismatic, I'd say.
No.
Martin knew too well that somewhere George Steinbrenner was watching and listening, and he loves this type of shit. This is fucking amazing. April of 1975, he doesn't like the umpires.
No?
Now he's pissed off. Here's an article here, quote, "When he isn't punching someone in the nose, Billy Martin is a delight for baseball." That's a quite great line. "He is saucy, sharp, interesting, exciting, and unpredictable. He's Leo DeRocher incarnate," as an old guy who was the same as Billy Martin. "I suppose you heard about Billy's latest gizmo. He showed up at home plate during the lineup card exchange with a small microphone clipped to his jacket. At least that's what the story said. They said he had become so distrustful of umpires' reports about his conduct that he decided to wire himself for sound."
Yeah.
I would love to hear Billy Martin I'd love to hear Billy Martin over the course of a game, cursing and yelling and fucking, that'd be amazing. Billy Martin would have a taped record of everything said between himself and the umpires, who then couldn't accuse him of saying gosh darn unless he really said it. The only thing wrong with this wonderful story is that it isn't true. The microphone was a prop, a dummy. It was connected to absolutely nothing. No recording device, no tape, nothing but Martin's fertile imagination. It was designed to irritate the umpires. That's great.
Hilarious.
It was a gag. What's more, the president of the league in which Billy Martin works was forewarned. Lee McPhail happened to be in Texas the other day, the day after Billy Martin had been tossed out of a game for saying rotten things he said he didn't say. They said, let's flash back a moment to that day. Rich Garcia was umping behind the plate. Ron Luciano was umpiring at third base. Oakland was playing Billy Martin's Texas Rangers. Billy's team expects to replace Oakland as the power in the American League this year, a fact which makes any Oakland-Texas confrontation important, even in April.
Right.
Cesar Tovar hit a slow grounder down the third baseline, and Sal Bando threw him out. There ensued a dispute over whether the ball was fair or foul, and whether the play should have been called by the home plate umpire or the third base umpire, meaning fair or foul.
Sure.
Things like which umpire has the authority to call which play become vital in such arguments because they give the manager a chance to show how smart he is. During the course of the argument, some words poured from the mouth of Billy Martin that were offensive to Ron Luciano's shell-like ears. Words spoken only on battlefields and in movies starring Georgiana Spelvin? Who the fuck is that? I don't know. Georgina Spelvin. Ron Luciano got to be a porn star or something.
Yeah, probably.
Ron Luciano will accept them from Georgina, but not from Billy. He kicked Billy out of the game. Now we get down to semantics. It's Billy Martin's contention that the things he said to Luciano weren't all that offensive. Furthermore, it's Martin's contention that the things he usually says to umpires in such situations are, by the time they reach the league's office's ears, grossly exaggerated. So he's going to fuck around with this microphone. So Billy said he would produce the evidence and wire himself for sound, and then he showed up with a famous little mic. What's that, Lee McPhail, a dugout visitor before the game, said. I'm going to tape everything said during a game. I'm sick and tired of your one-sided reports to your office. Lee McPhail, who knows a joke when he sees one, surprised Martin. He didn't become indignant. That's fine, said McPhail. There's just one thing. Remember, you must submit the entire tape. I want no taps, or no gaps, no expletives deleted. So Martin laughed and did it. They were like, you're not doing that, I know, and I'm not. Yeah, it's fine. So that's the whole thing here, what they're trying to do. More from the FBI file here. Q1 and Q2 were searched in the appropriate sections of the anonymous letter with negative results. Representative copies will be added. They were trying to find out if they could get anything off of this. They said it was determined that the stamp affixed to the letter originated from a sheet of stamps. They were looking for fingerprints. They were looking for everything. Yeah. They said that it was determined that the letters were prepared on a typewriter equipped with a style of type which most closely resembles laboratory standards for a style of type used on Olivetti brand typewriters.
They're going to find this person.
They are really looking for this person.
Forensics.
Wow. Then they have the hand trace, by the way. Mm-hmm. They have that. This is what this person sent.
Yeah. So who fits that?
I don't know. Who fits this left hand?
Half a turkey.
We don't know. Yeah, put a little thing on there. That's what they should have done. Billy should have. If only it had a return address. He could have drawn a turkey and sent it back.
Send it right back.
Oh, man. So that's the FBI's trying to find these people and having a hard time doing it. Now, here's something else from the book, Seasons in Hell. The Friday night debacle was followed by a day game on Saturday. Less than an hour before the Saturday game, I was leaving the Grand Hotel, most of which had been taken over for the weekend by a convention of square dancers, for the ballpark when I heard somebody, a solitary figure, going psst, psst, from inside the bar. It was Martin. What are you doing in here? I asked him. Stupid question. He was having a pregame pop, obviously.
Yeah.
He said, I'm standing in here having a drink with all my friends, Billy said. Then he proceeded to blame the previous night's loss on Frank Lucchese, his third base coach. Quote, Frank held up a runner who would have scored easily in the second inning. Then we wind up not knocking him in. If Toby scores, no extra innings, simple as that. And then I got a call from some asshole in Las Vegas at 3 a.m. claiming he lost $200,000 because of the Rangers, and he was raising hell with me, claiming I'd blown the game by keeping Perry in too long. I told the fucker that if he wanted to bitch at somebody, bitch at Frank Lucchese.
The fucker.
The fucker. But he's loved by fans. Here's an article in the paper down there. The headline is Texas Ranger fans love Billy Martin.
Yes, they do.
They love him.
Yeah.
They said they're talking about talk shows in the area, and one said, I'm from the Detroit area, and I think it's just terrible what they did to Billy Martin there. I'm behind him and the Rangers all the way. He's the greatest manager in the world. Every place he goes, he really just induces this type of loyalty. Another one said, why are umpires always baiting Martin and the Rangers? It seems like the umpires go out of their way to give us bad calls. So it's just people defending Billy no matter what he does. Now, right under that article is an incredible place that we need to go, Jimmy.
Oh, where are we going?
The sales, Jimmy, the sales.
Yeah.
We're going to the head shop. Get some head.
Yeah. Is it in New York?
This is not a blowjob facility, nor is it a place to buy bongs, which is what a head shop used to be. It's a fucking, like a barber. Which makes no sense.
They call it the head shop? I guess, that makes shop. All the sense, but...
it says it's now open for business under the management of Vic Calcutt, who wishes to invite all of his customers and friends to see the new shop.
A barber with the word cut in his name.
Cut.
That's good.
Calcutt, double T. Haircuts and styles of all types, children's haircuts also. So get in there right now.
Where's it at?
I think it's in Florence, Texas, I believe. The FBI files, again, back into this, they said that they have laboratory reports, no latent prints of value developed on specimens enclosed, meaning on the letters.
Yeah.
They did all the things they tried. They tried all the science that was available in 1974 to figure this out.
Yeah.
I mean, now they could figure it out in 2 seconds probably. I'm sure there's some DNA on it or something, but not back then, not at all. Mm-hmm. So, Billy is not going to be avenged by the FBI today.
Okay.
They said that the baseball's commissioner's office on May 23rd, 1975, the day of his death, which was set out before him. That's the day that he was going to be killed. Baseball's commissioner's office advised arrangements were made to have Billy Martin stay at the St. Moritz Hotel while the Texas Rangers were in New York City. Normally, they stay at the Hotel Roosevelt. So moved him to a different spot. Yeah, he was advised also. He advised that he had not received any additional letters. He stated he does not desire protection, but would abide by the wishes of the commissioner's office.
They're taking it serious, though.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a death threat. I mean, you got to kind of take it serious. He doesn't take it seriously, but
no.
At all. No, he said he doesn't want any protection. He wants nothing from anybody. Go fuck yourself, basically. Yeah. But, I mean, what are you going to do? So here is from the book, Seasons in Hell. Quote, Billy was so intense and so focused on what he was doing to get things turned around. Hargrove said there just wasn't a whole lot of energy left once it got turned around. By the end of June, the Rangers were 3 games under 500, 12 games behind Oakland. By the All-Star break, there were rumors that Billy's job was in jeopardy, and as usual, it wasn't just because the Rangers had slumped. Grieve, who was the GM, said, we started to see the effect of his drinking. Oh. He would come in late to the ballpark and look terrible. The players weren't mad at him. I think we felt, that's the player at the time, Grieve, sorry. I think we felt bad it was happening. It was more sad than annoying. Mm-hmm. He said, almost 40 years later, people ask, why didn't someone say something to him? Why didn't someone talk to him about his drinking? But that's not what people did 40 years ago. We didn't think it was any of our business. No one would have dreamed of approaching him and talk to him about his drinking. No, that's a man's private domain. Tell me what to put in my body.
That wasn't
okay.
Shut up.
Yeah. That wasn't considered being helpful back then or caring. Right. That was considered being a washerwoman up in everybody's business. Leave me alone.
But he's busy trying to get things done, and he's under a lot of stress, and somebody's trying to kill him, so he's drunk.
All those things. Yeah, and he's an alcoholic on top of all that, so it's just getting worse and worse. Now he's finding I can have a couple drinks before the game. I can go finding spots where he can drink more. He said, Grieve said, but I admit I think about it now, even 40 years later, it was sad because I loved playing for him. So they go on to say here that the Rangers' road trips were getting wilder and wilder with the charter plane journeys resembling a flying saloon and casino. Right. That did not exactly set the Rangers apart in baseball back then, but that kind of behavior always gets mentioned more often when the team is losing. And team owner Brad Corbett, wily and irrepressible in the George Steinbrenner mold of a team owner, had encouraged several players to spy on Billy for him.
Okay.
He's got fucking stooges now.
Players?
Yeah, players.
Oh,
yeah. Corbett, who died in 2012, was told that Billy's girlfriends were flying on the charters with the team. Something that especially became an issue to the players when Billy's paramour bumped one of the coaches out of the first class section into the back of the plane, usually occupied by writers, broadcasters, and staff. Protocol on a baseball team is unwritten, but some things are out of bounds, and that was one example. Corbett heard all about it. Wow. Grieve said the off-the-field stuff became a distraction. It was discussed. It erodes the team a little bit. Corbett called the minority owners and team executives and said he was considering firing Billy, and he told Billy the same thing. Now, more from Seasons in Hell. Quote, the little Dago seemed to be in training for a middleweight title bout.
Oh.
It seemed the Rangers manager had been scheduling sparring sessions at least once a week when he would play his rendition of the Moonlight Sonata on the nearest available face. Jesus Christ. Somebody suggested that Billy might be on a cash retainer from the American Dental Association. I told Billy that he might consider changing his name to Sugar Ray. Kind of has a nice ring to it, that, he conceded. One bout took place during a weekend of turmoil in Anaheim. In a restaurant, the mixologist refused to pour another cocktail for one of Billy's coaching staff, claiming the gentleman had already appeared overserved. Which is happens all the time in a bar. Cut you off. Billy took umbrage. While Martin and the bartender were engaged in a loud and intense disagreement over, I'll swear to God, an American's constitutional right to get plastered as he wants to, another customer entered the room. Billy brought this to the Constitution from not pouring you another drink. Okay, someone else entered the room. After several minutes, the customer, not realizing that he had stumbled into some distinguished company, yelled at the bartender, as soon as you get through arguing with these shitheads, would you mind getting me a gin and tonic? In seconds, Billy had rendered the customer horizontal.
Obviously,
yep. The bartender called the cops. Given the notoriety of the winner of the first round KO, no arrests were made, but they said they did confiscate the keys to Billy's rental car. Said, "You're not driving, Billy. Yeah. We won't arrest you, but you're not driving." Yeah. So I have to say, there's a lot of people like with the Billy Martin episodes that'll be like, "I want more arrests. I want more arrests." Billy literally couldn't get arrested back then.
Yeah.
If all of the shit we talked about happened, say, from 1995 to now. Mm-hmm. He'd have 15 arrests already. You know what I mean? He'd be getting arrested
just for assault. Yeah.
Oh, he'd have 20 assault arrests. He'd be fucking looking at prison time every time he touched anybody. But back then, if you were real famous, the cops would come and they go, boys will be boys, guys fight. You know, hey, it's all right. Nobody's dead. It's all fine. And that was that. And they let him go. Yeah. Same thing with Evel Knievel. It was like he couldn't get arrested till later on, but he was robbing banks and doing crazy shit.
Doing terrible things.
Yeah. So in mid-June, following another loss in Kansas City, I was seated in the lounge at Royal Stadium, sharing a beer in polite conversation with Bert Hawkins. That's another writer. Oh, no, that's the road manager guy that he slapped, who the night before had summoned me to his hotel room to meet his old friend David Eisenhower, the son-in-law of the recently ex-president. Son-in-law?
Oh, of Dwight?
How the fuck would he be his son-in-law and have his last name?
I don't know.
I don't think that's possible. How is that possible?
Did he take her?
Who knows? Eisenhower's a strong name back then. I'm not sure.
Sure enough, yeah.
I was now telling Hawkins how Eisenhower, unlike his photographs, didn't look anything like Howdy Doody in person, when somebody barged into the press box and announced that down in the Rangers clubhouse, Billy Martin and Willie Davis, that's a player, were beating the crap out of each other.
Uh-oh.
Oh, my God. Hawkins smiled and said, hard to figure out who to root for in that one.
Both guys you don't like.
Oh, man. The winner in the long run was probably Willie Davis. Not 20 minutes after the hostilities, he was traded to the St. Louis Cardinals, who, unlike the Rangers, were involved in a pennant race. "I'm gone like a cool breeze," Willie told me.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. That's fucking funny. Now there's an article about how Billy's a peacemaker.
Oh.
Here's an article from June 28, 75. Slumping Texas Rangers superstar Jeff Burroughs, accused by an anonymous teammate of loafing in the outfield, exchanged punches in the clubhouse Friday with center fielder Joe Levito, and manager Billy Martin had to break up the fisticuffs between Burroughs, potential fisticuffs between Burroughs and Jim Fregosi. Mm-hmm. Burroughs, the most valuable player in the American League in 1974, was later seen shaking hands with Levito, but called Fregosi a backstabber. It's the guy he fought with. He's fine with that. Burroughs was criticized by an anonymous teammate in the local Dallas paper after a game in Chicago. The teammate told the Dallas Times-Herald that several balls fell in that Burroughs should have caught. Burroughs, who'd been benched by Martin for both games of Friday night's doubleheader with Minnesota, walked into the locker room while an Associated writer was waiting to speak with Martin. Burroughs walked into the restroom area and shouted, "Did anyone really think I was loafing in Chicago? There are some backstabbers on this team, and I think I know who they are."
Nut up.
Yeah. Levito and several other players were standing nearby Burroughs' outburst. Burroughs moved near Levito and said, "I think you might just be one of them," and then punches started flying.
Uh-oh.
However, none landed, and teammates quickly separated the duo. See, Billy's not involved because no one actually got hit.
That is fun when you see a fight and nobody lands a single punch.
Like, Jesus,
I've seen one recently.
That was a waste.
Two guys threw 40 punches minimal. Neither of them hit anything.
No. Oh, when I was a bouncer, I used to see that all the time when people are real shit-faced.
Yeah, they were hammered.
They'd fucking wind up from the ground to throw a punch, and the other guy, as drunk as he is, be able to get out of the way.
So much time to move.
There'd be like 8 missed punches, and then they'd just like hug each other and go to the ground. We'd wait for that part. We'd be like, see if anybody wins the fight first. Nobody wins? All right, I guess go break them up when they're on the ground. Fuck them.
The bigger guy got so frustrated, he grabbed the smaller guy by the shirt and threw him, but hung on to his shirt. So he just ripped his shirt off of him.
That's hilarious.
And then he hit the ground, causing scratches. And that was the only blood incurred by this fight.
That's a sad fight.
Unbelievable.
Jesus Christ. So they go, Burroughs stalked back into the locker room bench and began talking with the AP reporter Randy Galloway of the Dallas Morning News, who had just walked into the locker room. LeVito and Burroughs exchanged apologies. Then Fregosi came into the locker room, and Burroughs twice called him a backstabber. With that, Fregosi walked over to Burroughs in a threatening manner and asked, would you say that one more time? Burroughs looked him in the eye and said, you're the backstabber.
Uh-oh.
Not afraid of you. As both players moved toward each other, Martin dashed from his office and broke up any potential problems, ordering Fregosi to his office. So, basically, I'm the only one who's allowed to fight here.
Yes.
Not you.
Right.
You bring it to me, and I'll see if they need an ass kicking, and I'll dispense it. So, here's another one from Seasons in Hell. Back in Texas, according to a Rangers pitcher who claimed to be an eyewitness, Billy's winning streak turned down a dead-end street. At the County Line Bar in Grand Prairie, this is a hilarious story.
Oh, boy.
I told a basic overview of it earlier in this series. In Grand Prairie, on the night before the team would leave on an extended road trip, Billy allegedly sucker punched an off-duty iron worker.
Oh, fuck.
Some real tough son of a bitch who works hard for a living out in the Texas sun.
Sucker punched.
Billy nailed him with his best shot. This is a quote from the pitcher. Billy nailed him with his best shot, and the fucker didn't even blink. Then the guy grabbed Billy by the shirt, and I saw something I thought I'd never see. He apologized to the guy. Hey,
I'm
look,
so sorry.
If you hit somebody with all you got in the face and it doesn't even flinch them, try an apology first.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, because you're going to get your ass kicked. So maybe you can, stop it from happening,
just
but
giggle.
I doubt it.
Be like, wow.
What are you going to do? Run is the best thing.
Yeah.
Run. Then the big son of a bitch spat a mouthful of blood on the floor, looked at Billy and said, listen, apologies ain't enough, with no A. Apologies ain't enough. Then Billy said, look, I'm drunk and I don't know what I'm doing. And the big guy said, then I'll catch you when you're sober.
Wake up, yeah.
So Billy jumped in that big Lincoln and got his ass out of there.
Yeah.
He said, well, I'll find you when you're sober then, pal. Don't you worry. Which is terrifying.
Yeah.
It's a fucking terrifying thing to hear.
I'll be around then. You're gonna
calmly kick the shit out of you. This isn't, I'm not angry. I'm okay. Right. I'll be cracking my knuckles. Waiting for you.
Yeah.
From the book here, as part of his adoption of the Texas lifestyle, Billy had become a big fan of country music. He attended concerts and befriended country music acts, stars like Charlie Pride and Mac Davis. During the seventh inning stretch at Arlington Stadium, Billy wanted the public address system to play John Denver's Thank God I'm a Country Boy. He's from fucking San Francisco or Oakland. He's from Berkeley, for Christ's sake. You're not a country boy at all. You're not. You're a fucking guinea from the fucking docks. What are you doing? I don't get this. It had been the top-selling record in country music in 1974, and the Texas crowd loved it. But the Queens-born Corbett lobbied for the traditional baseball anthem, Take Me Out to the Ball Game. The two men argued over which song to play throughout the 1975 season until Corbett insisted Take Me Out to the Ball Game be played in the seventh inning stretch at every home game, and that was that.
Wow.
The day after Corbett told Billy he might fire him, the Rangers were cruising to a 6-0 victory, a 5-hitter by Fergie Jenkins. In roughly the sixth inning, Billy called the press box and asked to talk to the person who chooses the music played between the innings on the public address system. He can't stop.
Who's the DJ?
Oh my God!
Who's got the aux cord? I want to fix this.
I am going to fix this. Yeah, let me plug my phone into that bad boy. Umpire Ron Luciano was working the bases and wandered over to the Rangers' dugout for some water in the midst of another hot Texas night. He heard Billy screaming into the dugout phone. Here's a quote from that guy, from Luciano's autobiography. Billy was saying, I don't care what the owner says. Play the goddamn John Denver song.
I want John Denver.
That is the angriest anyone's ever been about John Denver in any aspect. He has wives that aren't as mad at him. Goddamn John Denver.
Play the goddamn Denver.
Oh, man. I couldn't believe my ears. Billy's yelling, I better hear Thank God I'm a Country Boy, and then slams the phone down. What the fuck?
Wow.
The public address system played Thank God I'm a Country Boy. In the owner's suite, Corbett steamed. After the game, the Rangers announced that Billy had been dismissed as manager. They fired him over John Denver.
Wow.
Has anyone ever been fired over John Denver? Is that ever
playing? Thank God I'm a country boy. They were so aggrieved that he is not one.
Yeah.
They fired him about it.
They fired him. So Corbett's like, he went against what I said. I'm firing him, which is okay. This is two children.
Yeah.
Billy shouldn't give a shit what's playing during the seventh inning stretch because he should be worried about other shit.
Yes.
And the owner shouldn't get in a pissing match with his fucking manager on the. He should care about what's going on between the fucking lines, and so should the manager. Neither of these two should be involved in this.
Also, if the manager thinks that this song may improve morale around here,
that's what I mean.
It. Who gives a shit?
But Corbett, Billy is drawn to that.
Yeah.
George Steinbrenner, Corbett. Dictatorial guy that I'm going to disobey type of shit. So I don't know if it's something to do with his dad or what the fuck it is, but I don't know. Corbett said the decision was made because of a lot of factors which had built up over the last month or so. By the way, the next 6 seasons, the Rangers are going to have 6 managers. So Corbett's not exactly great at hiring managers, put it that way, including 4 managers in 1977.
Wow.
4. Billy was disconsolate and red-eyed as he cleaned out his locker after the game. Quote, "What I'm proud of is the fact that I brought Texas a winner. I brought them 1 million fans, and I brought them some real Major League Baseball." Billy retreated to an equipment room where he wept as he shook hands with coaches, players, and reporters. It was a pitiful sight seeing Billy all broken up, Rangers trainer Bill Ziegler said. A reporter asked the reigning American League Manager of the Year about his future, and Billy said, "I have no idea. I love this game. Baseball is my life. I love the game. But at this very moment, I feel like telling the game to shove it."
Tell the game to go fuck itself. Yeah.
He's the McNulty of managers. That's
Certainly,
what he is.
Yeah.
He's like, I love this job. And they're trying to fuck me over. Like, he's that guy. It's not good for you. No, you're not good for the job. The job's not good for you. Stop. You're killing yourself with booze. He is shit can done.
Yeah.
And that's that. Corbett, if asked if he considered Martin disloyal, said, "I wouldn't care to comment on that."
Okay.
Interesting. That third base coach that he blamed a loss on, he's the guy who takes over for him, and Billy said he'll do a good job. Okay. He'll do fine. Also, they shit can Art Fowler and Charlie Silvera, who are 2 of Billy's loyal coaches, so they fire him. He takes Art Fowler everywhere.
Really?
Everywhere. Lucchese said, "Following Billy is like a fellow following Al Jolson in his prime of show business." He said, "I respected the man who was here," meaning Billy. He said, yeah. So he's fired now. What's he going to do?
What do you do?
Yeah, they go over all of his hits. His wife, Gretchen, said, "He doesn't fit into the mold of the man in the gray flannel suit. It's just his nature to speak out about what he thinks. Baseball's not the means to an end. It's the end for Billy," she said. So that's
everything. Yeah.
It's everything. So August 2nd, 12 days after he's fired by the Rangers, Billy is named the Yankees manager. He's hired. Steinbrenner has been drooling, waiting to hire him.
Chomping at the bit.
Because he wants somebody with fire. He wants somebody that's going to kick shit around when the guys aren't playing well. Go fucking tell those umpires to go fuck themselves. He wants that. You be me out there is what he's doing.
I need you.
So he wants it. Now, this is a real interesting thing. If you read Sparky Lyle's book, Sparky Lyle wrote a great book. He's a pitcher for the Yankees, won the Cy Young Award in 77, I believe, and a relief pitcher. And his book is great. It's honest. It's a diary. It's just a diary of a couple of seasons. And he talks about when Billy came in, and it really seemed to cause a lot of drama. It worked for the team, but I mean, it was like drama after this. They really didn't understand why their manager was being fired to begin with, just because it was Billy. It was weird. So Billy is named Yankees manager. The New York newspapers had been predicting the move for days, news leaked by George Steinbrenner. This is from the book. In a press conference in New York, Billy, his face flushed and his voice cracking, said the day was a dream come true. 18 years after George Weiss had banished Billy to Kansas City, then Detroit, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Milwaukee, Minnesota, Detroit again, and finally Texas, Billy was back.
Here we go.
He had predicted as a child that he would play for the Yankees, and he had. Now in middle age, 3 years short of 50, he would be the Yankees manager. Mm-hmm. They said, gaunt and weary as he exited Texas less than 2 weeks earlier, Billy now appeared revitalized. He told reporters, "This was the only job I ever wanted, the only job, the Yankee job."
And I mean, it's good for whoever wants to kill him. He's in a much bigger spotlight.
You can see him, yeah. He's in his stadium's open. It's, but Texas has more guns, so you got that. So
that's true, too. Yeah.
Easier to shoot him there, probably.
You only need one, though.
Yeah, that's true. As it happened, the day Billy reunited with the Yankees was also the team's Old Timers Day, and Billy, in a move that presaged Steinbrenner's love of showmanship, was to be introduced during the on-field festivities after DiMaggio, Mantle, and Ford. Public address announcer Bob Shepard called his name, and Billy jogged out and waved his cap. The crowd stood and cheered. The 1975 Yankees had been lethargic. The anticipated dynamism of Billy Martin was appreciated and welcomed. The ovation continued longer than it had been for all the Yankees Hall of Famers.
Wow.
They love him. Billy was back. In his mind, the circle was complete. This is like one of, I think, 6 times he's going to manage the Yankees or something, because he gets fired constantly.
Nice. He
stood on the field and waved his cap repeatedly as he wiped away tears with the other hand. At his home on that day in Glendale, California, Casey Stengel was confined to his bed. In 1974, his wife Edna had sustained a stroke and was now living at a nearby nursing home.
Oh, no.
Casey, who had turned 85 3 days earlier, had recently been diagnosed with leukemia.
Shit.
Jesus. In pain and increasingly immobile, Casey had hired a housekeeper to help him, Mrs. June Bolin. Sports writer Maury Allen interviewed Bolin shortly after Billy was hired as Yankees manager. She said the television was on in Casey's bedroom where the newscast mentioned Billy Martin. Mrs. Bolin got Casey's attention, pointed to the screen which showed Billy on the field at Old Timers Day. Casey, she said, Billy is the new manager of the Yankees. She said that Casey smiled and then wept. So I was happy for him.
Yeah.
Happy for him. So everybody's all excited. He said it's great to be back where it all started, now with one of these rinky-dink fucking, bullshit things. He said, when everybody fires you, they try to explain why. First of all, when everybody fires you.
How many people?
How many times have the average person been fired?
Oh well.
Not enough to say when everybody fires you, I don't think, right?
Yeah. You should look in the mirror if everybody's
That's
firing
the thing.
That's for sure. I took peace with that a long time ago, that I knew I was absolutely the problem.
Well, yeah, you weren't even trying, though. You were a teenager. You didn't care. That's what I mean. You're not even trying at that point. What the hell do you care? You're just, I'm going to stay here until they fire me, essentially.
I'm not
doing
to
this.
Retire. That's
yeah,
for sure.
I'm not trying to make my way up the fucking grocery store corporate ladder. I'm just trying to make a paycheck.
Pay for all the dumb shit I got to pay for.
Yeah, one of the Yankees executives said if Billy Martin hadn't been available, Bill Verdon would still be the manager of the Yankees. So we weren't even unhappy with our manager. No. We just wanted Billy. Yeah. So that's that. Billy Martin is the manager. Everybody is happy. Martin was on a fishing trip in Colorado when he was reached by the Yankees through Martin's father-in-law. They began negotiations and reached an agreement. And one of Martin's first meetings was with center fielder Elliot Maddox, who he tried to fight and threw at. Right. He said, hello, Elliot, this is Billy Martin. Maddox said, I said, oh, he recalled because it was on the phone. Martin, felt that things in the past should have been forgotten. So he said, hey, that's that.
Let bygones be bygones.
Let's bygone this bitch. Yeah. 1975 Yankees, 83-77, finished third in the AL. And Martin did the same job as Verdon. Verdon was 53-51. Martin was 30-26.
Same shit.
Same shit. Yeah.
Feels like it might be the players. Yeah.
Possibly the players on this squad. You got, Sandy Alomar Sr. Look at that.
Oh.
Yeah. Ron Guidry is a 24-year-old kid. Christ, he was great. Catfish Hunter.
This is the Rangers?
No, this is the Yankees.
Oh, this is the Yankees.
Catfish Hunter, Alex Johnson, Sparky Lyle. Trying to see some other guys. Thurman Munson, obviously. Greg Nettles. I'm trying to see people would hear of. Lou Piniella.
Sure.
There's a bunch of future managers on this team, too. Roy White, the future broadcaster. Chris Chambliss, who's a coach and a manager somewhere, I think. Anyway, that's the team. Now, They said Roy White recalled a game in August when he was the base runner at second base and Lou Piniella was at the plate. Thurman Munson was on first base and Billy put the bunt sign on. So Roy White, who's on second base, says, Lou fouls off the bunt attempt on the first pitch. I didn't even look at the third base coach. I assumed the bunt was still on. But the next pitch, Lou hits a single to right field. Oh. And I went to third. I scored when the next batter hit a ground ball. I'm coming into the dugout and everybody's shaking my hand. I figured I did something good.
Yeah.
Billy comes toward me and I extend my hand, and he sternly says to me, you missed a sign, you cost us a run.
Way to go, dickhead.
Nice job, asshole.
Yeah.
Turns out Billy had changed the bunt to a hit and run on the second pitch to Piniella. I'd never heard of a hit and run with runners at first and second. Billy says to me, Thurman couldn't run on the hit and run because you didn't run. If you're both running on Piniella's single, then you score and Thurman gets to third. He scores on that ground out, not you. You cost us a run.
Ah.
That's it. And I thought to myself, I better start really paying attention. This isn't the same game I've been playing. We all knew Billy could help us, but we didn't realize how much concentration that would take. You got to pay attention at work. Yeah, that's what you got to do. Just dick around. Now, George is a different kind of owner.
Oh?
Owners in baseball generally shut the fuck up and stay out of the way. They control everything from behind the scenes. If they want to fire a manager, they do. If they want to call a guy in, they'll talk to him, tell him they want to do that. But the manager does what they want, generally, until they get fired. George is a different kind of cat. Completely different. He steps over lines that you don't step over as an owner.
He's involved a lot.
Yeah, from this book, they say Billy had never had an owner who treated the locker room as his place of business, too. Late in the 1975 season, Steinbrenner, a former assistant college football coach as a young man who himself never played football, that says a lot. That's George Steinbrenner, had taken to taping pep talks for his players on audio cassette.
And just sending that in?
Yeah, that's the manager's job, not yours. Yeah. Not yours. Go manage the team yourself if you want to do that. You don't do that. Prohibited from going into the locker room himself because of his suspension, George ordered Gabe Paul. He was suspended by the league. George ordered Gabe Paul to have the speeches played for the players before certain big games as a way to motivate them.
Oh, boy.
They hear an owner's voice, they all just roll their eyes and go jerk off. This does not motivate them. They have no respect for him when it comes to that kind of shit. The cassette player would be placed on a stool in the middle of the clubhouse with the volume turned on high. The first speech was just 2 minutes long. The next one a week later was a little longer. When the third speech went on for more than 3 or 4 minutes, Billy emerged from his office, stalked toward the middle of the clubhouse, kicked over the stool, then pushed the stop button on the cassette player. Not having that shit. The players roared their approval. Exactly. That's what they've wanted. And Billy uses George as a way to motivate his players in this way. I'm protecting you from this jackass. Yeah. And then they love that, and they get behind Billy, and everybody's on a team. But they need an enemy, and that's going to be George Steinbrenner.
And if we've all got a common one, and he happens to be right around the corner, much more beneficial to all of us.
Exactly. And then you're on my side, too, when things come up, and that helps, too.
Yeah. It's us against them.
Yes, exactly. They said they later would ask Billy if he was playing George's tapes to the players, the general manager did, and Billy would say he was. Oh, yeah, we got to play him. Don't worry about it. In fact, after Billy kicked over the stool, players took turns stopping the Steinbrenner speeches, rushing to the cassette player, and forcefully banging on the stop button. They don't want to. September 29th, the day after the 1975 regular season ended, Casey Stengel died.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, he said that Billy went straight to Casey's home in Glendale, California, and on the night before Casey's funeral, slept in his mentor's bed. That's creepy.
What?
That is creepy. I don't want to sleep in some old man's bed, whether he's alive or dead. That's fucking gross.
Why'd you do that?
I don't know, man. They have shit. He's 85. Things are leaking out of him all the time. I don't want any part of that.
You don't want to be in there?
No, fuck that. That's gross. Anyway, they said Billy said he wanted to do it to connect with Stacy one last time. That's what his Stengel, That's what his coach Charlie Silvera said. Billy, Silvera, and Yankees infielder Jerry Coleman were pallbearers at Casey's funeral. Carrying the casket from the Church of the Recessional, the pastor, reading one of Casey's eulogies, quoted the Los Angeles sports reporter Jim Murray, who wrote upon Casey's death, "God is certainly getting an earful tonight." Billy stayed another night at Casey's home before flying to the Bay Area to go hunting with Lou Figone. With Mrs. Boland's permission, Billy took with him some of Casey's old long-sleeve T-shirts that he'd worn under his Yankee uniform. On occasion, Billy would wear them beneath his Yankees uniform and show visitors the 37 stenciled underneath the collar of the shirt.
Nice.
And these are Casey's shirts, which is cool. That's really cool. Okay, now, in November 1975, his daughter with his first wife, Lois, Kellyanne, remember her?
Yeah.
She's arrested.
Oh.
It's crazy, too. She's
What'd
arrested
she do?
trying to smuggle, this is in 75, by the way,
boy.
450 grams of cocaine out of Barranquilla, Colombia.
Oh, Colombian coke.
Smuggling in
Lots of it.
450 grams of Colombian coke.
What is that? That is that's a lot of 8
That's fucking amazing. That is a lot, man. So are you trying to figure out the weight
I was
of it?
trying to do math in my head. Yeah, that's
28 grams to an ounce, babe.
Yeah,
so think about it that way.
That's a lot of ounces. That's a lot of 8 balls. What is she trying to do? Is this personal use?
Fuck, it's more than it's like what, 15
Half a
ounces,
key?
17 ounces of fucking coke.
Yeah.
That is not personal use unless you
That's
plan
a
on
lot. Yeah.
either exploding your heart or doing coke for the next 2 years.
Right. Does it have an expiration date?
It'll hold, I guess.
In the cabinet?
No, you have to store it a certain way.
Yeah.
You can't just hold it out there. You put it up there like it's fucking just old sugar.
Yeah.
So this was as she boarded a flight for Miami from Colombia.
Okay.
Now, the Colombian authorities grew more interested in prosecuting Kellyanne when they found out her father's a fucking big famous American. Now they really want to make an example.
Yeah.
Now, Kellyanne, who had put the cocaine in plastic bags and strapped them to her legs, that was her way of smuggling them.
Well,
also would not identify who had given her the cocaine. Well, yeah, she doesn't want to be murdered by a cartel, so that makes sense.
Why would she do that? Yeah.
Kellyanne was 22, a secretary living near Berkeley, and she ran with a rough crowd. Though she initially claimed she'd been duped into carrying the drugs, she later confessed to her father that she was trying to make some extra money on a drug-running mission.
Okay, so she doesn't do drugs. She's
Making some money.
Yeah.
She might do some too, but she's making some money. This is 75.
Yeah.
Coke wasn't like affordable to the masses until the early 80s. Really.
Okay.
And that was like in very specific places like Miami, there'd be tons of it, or New York City, but it was still in the 75, it is extremely expensive, this shit. I mean, so fucking expensive still. They hadn't figured out how to really get the packaging and get it going and make it a real big business. So it was still very, very expensive. So they said Billy was obsessed with trying to find back channel ways to get Kellyanne cleared of the charges.
Okay.
Yeah. The case lingered for many weeks as Billy tried to call in every favor from his extended network of friends. Frank Sinatra made some calls.
Really?
You got Frank Sinatra making calls for you? That's awesome.
You got old blue eyes on the wall.
Wow. Holy shit. As did Bill Reedy, who worked for a politician with ties to then-President Ford.
Nice.
The Yankees used their resources and arranged for a respected lawyer. Billy called then Secretary of State Henry Kissenger because Kissenger was a renowned Yankees fan. Kissenger promised to look into the matter. Colombian officials also extorted tens of thousands of dollars from Billy. There was Colombian officials saying, I can help make it go away. And so he bribed a bunch of people that didn't do anything.
Do shit. Yeah.
They just extorted them.
They just took the money. Yeah.
Yep. The ordeal weighed on Billy. He blamed himself for not being more of a part of Kellyanne's life. Through the years, Kellyanne had visited her father and lived one summer with Billy, Gretchen, and Billy Joe in Minnesota, but father and daughter were far from close. Yeah, that would make you feel like it's your fault. In January, Kellyanne was sentenced to 3 years in jail. Wow. Because of the official lobbying of Billy's friends in high places, she avoided a hardened Columbia jail. She was instead confined to a convent where she was watched over by nuns.
Really?
You're going to be real bored for a couple of years is all it was. It was understood that she would likely serve about 2/3 to 1/2 of her sentence. Jesus Christ. As for his other child and the family left behind in Texas, Billy did return to live with Gretchen and Billy Joe for weeks at a time in the off-season. It was an uneasy standoff. Oh, boy. Jesus. Neither filed for divorce. Gretchen made visits to New York and Billy made visits to Texas. This is Billy Jr. here, Billy Joe.
Yeah.
Said it was tough. I was trying to get through school and sports. They wouldn't give up on it, but you could feel the sadness for everyone. Billy was seen on the Manhattan bar circuit, and there was always the occasional one-night stand for companionship, but he was a lonely figure. Writer Mickey Morabito, Mickey Morabito, who's the Yankees' assistant public relations director, said, I remember Billy coming into our offices all the time that winter. It was strange to see him hanging around the office like that in the off season. Managers don't usually do that.
Yeah.
He had rejoined the Yankee family, but I think it was the only family he had at that point.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. Lou Piniella says about Steinbrenner, quote, George just loved to be seen and involved, and truthfully, I think he thought he was helping. Yeah. He thought this helps, and it doesn't.
No.
He doesn't, because he's not a ball player, doesn't understand baseball. That's the problem. That's why the managers are all ex-players, because they understand what players are thinking and doing, and how to motivate them.
Man, I can't imagine having my daughter go to prison for trafficking.
No, that's horrible.
That's so
for fucking trafficking. You would definitely feel like that was your fault.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did she not feel like she could talk to me if she needed something? Yeah, you need money, you come to me. You know what I mean? Wow. That's how you want your daughter.
Like a failure.
Yeah. My daughter knows you need money, you come to me. You don't need anybody else. Yeah. You call your father, and I'll figure it the fuck out. If I have to go knock over a fucking liquor store, I'll get you the money before you have to go get the money. You know what I mean?
You're not trafficking, for Christ's
sake. I'll traffic if I have to, but you're not doing it.
Not you. Jesus Christ.
So that's how your father's supposed to be, but who knows? Anyway, Lou Piniella said, and at first I think it just amused Billy. George would come strutting by and say something like, okay, Piniella, now let's whip that bat around. How does that help? You know what I mean? Yeah. Or he would watch infielders and shout, step lively, boys. And Billy would be standing there with his hands in his back pockets, biting his lip. Then George would turn his back and walk to the next field, and Billy would wait a minute and say, you heard the man, step lively, boys. And they'd all laugh.
Move it.
He said everybody would start quietly laughing, turning away so no one can see. He reminds me of, and please don't take this politically if you fucking idiots, he reminds me exactly of people describing Trump in the New Jersey Generals owner's box when he owned the New Jersey Generals USFL team.
Yeah.
He'd be like, it'd be like third and a half a yard, and he goes, watch this, there's going to be a great pass right here. And it was obviously a running play for a first down. And the people around him were going, after like a quarter of watching the game, they go, this guy doesn't know a fucking thing about football. Like, not a goddamn thing about shit.
Never heard of it? Never seen it? Yeah.
And that's what Steinbrenner is. But he wants to be involved, you know what I mean? He wants to be the leader, but you don't know anything about it. And that's where Steinbrenner's at, too. Might mean well, but it doesn't help anything.
Sure.
Another time, one of the Yankee starters sprained an ankle, and an athletic trainer, Gene Monahan, Christ, he was their trainer forever, had the player hustled into the dugout. Coaches gathered on the bench as Steinbrenner rushed over, peering into the scrum encircling the player. Monahan was pressing ice to the ankle, which was swelling nonetheless. Do something, Steinbrenner yelped. Don't you have any colder ice?
Anything more frozen?
More frozen than frozen? Is that possible? Don't you have colder ice? And it's just a guy sprained an ankle. It's normal. We put some ice on it.
Shit ice is it around here?
He's going to limp for a week. Who's buying shit ice on my dime? I lay out for the best fucking ice in this country, goddammit. So that's where he doesn't know what he's doing. He shouldn't be doing this, but he wants to be involved, and it's his money, so whatever. Steinbrenner was not just a noisy interloper the Yankees appeased. The players appreciated that he spent money on the roster, and that's the thing. That's one thing they appreciate is he's not fucking cheap. Right. Every other owner you go on, they're so goddamn cheap.
Right.
They'll sacrifice winning to put for $3 extra in their pocket. I said this about Steinbrenner. He'd rather win the World Series and lose money on the year than make money and lose.
Right.
Every time. He'd much rather do that.
And he made a shitload, right?
Oh, yeah. No, he made a ton of money on the Yankees. Yeah. And I mean, and also the Yankees, back then, it's so weird because like back then, team owners looked at the bottom line of like, we took in $10 million, but we spent 12, so I lost $2 million. Nowadays, they don't even look at it like that. No, because the team's an asset that appreciates at an insane level and is worth billions of dollars. So
it's growing money every year, no matter you lose it or not.
If you lost $50 million this year, your team probably appreciated $200 million in value, which made you a profit of $150 million that you can now borrow against, making you that you're worth.
You made more money.
losing. That's what I mean. People with these out of control payrolls, they always say they don't care about that. They don't care if they're making a profit. They are, all the teams. They're all profitable, but that's not where the money comes from. The money comes from the value of the team nowadays as an asset. So anyway, they say one of Steinbrenner's the Yankees spring training home had been renovated with more spacious locker room and additional fields. One of Steinbrenner's first acts was to upgrade the Yankees' travel arrangements. The team now had newer jets to fly them around the continent, and they stayed at the best hotels in whatever city.
Hell yeah.
Which makes the players go
so
like
the
guy.
Yeah.
Exactly. Here is the Yankees' traveling secretary, Bill Killer Kane, who had become a friend to Steinbrenner and Billy Martin, said he had a difficult daily double, recalling that the upgrades were ordered by both men.
Oh.
Billy said, I want my guys to have better shit, and George said, we're getting the guys better shit. He said Billy, meanwhile, wanted to make sure the players' lives were easier and that they felt special. One of the first things he told me that he wanted was Chivas as the only scotch served on the planes when we traveled. I told Billy I didn't think we served scotch at all, and he said, well, that's not right. Give the players the best. Let them have a drink to relax when together on the road. Let them have some fun. So he had Chivas on all our flights, and good food, too. Shrimp cocktail, steak, you name it. It was Billy's idea that they should feel honored to play for the Yankees, and George thought the same thing. That's how you run a team.
Absolutely.
You cheap fucks.
Make them proud to be a piece of this organization.
It's ridiculous. Any of these fucking teams that are these fans that go to these fucking games with the lowest five payroll teams, don't give them your fucking money. Don't give them your money.
Watch it on TV.
Watch it on TV. Tell them to go fuck themselves. Yeah, make them earn it. That's what I mean. These owners are cheap as shit while their team is appreciating like Christ and Val. It's fucking ridiculous, man. 1976 Yankees 97-62.
Hey.
First in the AL East. Not too shabby here. They beat the Royals 3-2 in the ALCS. That's the Chris Chambliss home run. That's a huge thing in Yankee lore. And then they got swept by the Reds in the World Series. This is the big red machine, the end of that.
Yeah.
The end of their dynasty. So they were tough. They were real tough here. Now, before the opening game of the 76 season in Milwaukee, this is from the book, Billy, with a black armband on his sleeve commemorating the death of Casey Stengel, assembled his team for a clubhouse speech. Yankees always do that. A legend dies, they wear a black band like they're in the mafia for the rest of the year. Or a number on that. They had the DiMaggio's number with the thing for the year he died, Mickey Mantle. Piniella said he didn't say much. The first thing he said was, we're winning the division this year, then we're winning the pennant. The next thing he said was, the only way that doesn't happen is if you don't believe in what I'm going to ask you to do. This is a good team, and we're going to scare the shit out of the whole league if you buy into what I'm trying to do. Scare the shit out of them. Trust me, you do that and we'll win. Then he walked out of the clubhouse and headed for the dugout. I was standing next to Thurman, and he turned to me and said, quote, that SOB is going to win us a pennant. I believe him.
Get in the plane.
Let's go. By June 14th, 1976, there's a headline that says, Yankees fiery Billy Martin creates constant havoc.
Oh?
Yep. George Steinbrenner once said, quote, I don't want a manager who goes to the mound to remove a pitcher with his hands in his back pocket, walking slowly and looking like he has the weight of the world on his shoulders. I want a manager who bounds out of the dugout and goes to the mound like he knows what's wrong and he has the answer to the problem.
And it's not you. You get out of here. I don't need you.
Yeah. And that is so ridiculous because some managers have a different aura. Some have that fiery aura. Some have that. Joe Torre would walk out calm as can be, a confused old man, but he knew exactly what he was doing, and they were winning World Series.
He's going to go ask the guy, do you still have it? You've been watching. I know you don't have it.
You don't know what you're talking about, George. George and Billy were not necessarily a match made in heaven. They had their differences and will continue to have their differences. And they said some are out in the open, some are in private, but they're definitely going to have some problems here. So from the book, it says those guys on the 76 team would have tried to run across a pond if Billy told them to. That's what that Killer Kane guy said.
Sure.
They would have assumed that somehow they wouldn't sink if Billy told them so. That's what you need out of a manager.
Yeah.
You believe you can do this.
Can you do it?
Ask R. Kelly. You got to believe you can fly. And you got to believe that the closet door locks and that teenage girl won't be able to get out and go tell people what you're doing to her. You got to believe it.
You got to believe the bucket will hold it all.
That's what you got to do. So, wow. They said that day by day, Billy was challenging the rest of the American League to stop his refurbished, hard-charging Yankees. Mickey Rivers, Willie Randolph, Roy White, reserve Sandy Alomar, even Lou Piniella were running teams ragged, stealing bases with abandon. Billy was attempting stolen bases at a rate twice that of former Yankees manager Joe McCarthy and Ralph Houck, and 3 times as often as Casey Stengel.
Wow.
Moreover, the 76 Yankees were feisty. Slides into bases were hard and tags were forceful. The pitchers weren't afraid to throw inside, and Munson scowled at everyone who approached home plate. Billy worked the umpires from the dugout ceaselessly. Gene Monahan, the trainer, said Billy just kept everyone on edge. Right from the first inning, if he didn't like an umpire's call, he'd be on him. He'd yell, "Okay, pal, that's it. You're off the Christmas card list. You owe me one now. You don't get back on the Christmas card list till I get that call back."
Yeah.
Breaking balls. And he'd turn and wink at the players on the bench. But that would get everyone paying attention. He would stand on the first step of the dugout with his hands in his back pockets and just jaw out there, almost like a challenge to the other team. Until that year, players usually sat back on the dugout bench. That season, I noticed half the team would be standing on the first step of the dugout with Billy.
Hey.
The 76 Yankees had veterans and young players, but most of all, they were a team in sync with their manager. Willie Randolph said, "Somebody would slide late at second base and knock me halfway into the outfield. And then we'd get into the dugout after the inning. Billy would make a show of coming over and asking me how I was. Then he'd say out loud, 'That was a bullshit play.'"
Yeah.
Defending his players. Mm-hmm. And he would walk slowly past the veteran guys like Munson, Piniella, Chambliss, and Nettles, and he would just give them a look that said, "You know what to do." Yeah. He didn't even say anything. He just looked at him. And boy, that other team's middle infielders would be getting bowled over that next inning. That's just the way it went. You got my guy, so I'm going to get your guy. But it got around the league. People knew Billy would punch back and maybe punch twice.
Yeah. He's not taking it.
Not taking any shit. They said the Red Sox came to Yankee Stadium on May 20th, trailing the Yankees by 6 games, but they still had the swagger of a champion. Wow. In the mid-1970s, players did not fraternize before games. In fact, oftentimes they genuinely did not like each other or resented one another's success.
Right.
It was before the modern big money era of baseball when players, they're so fucking rich. They don't, hey, I'm super rich, you're super rich, like what you do. And I don't really care if you hit 50 home runs because I have a fucking guaranteed $180 million contract, so I'm fine. It doesn't matter what you do.
Let's hang out after this.
Yeah, if everybody's rich, it's easy to be friends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everybody's rich and happy and nobody's scared. It's real easy. Munson resented that Fisk received more favorable media attention. Carlton Fisk, the longtime catcher. Sometimes Munson attributed to Fisk's movie star looks. Munson was squat and rough-hewn. Fisk, a native New Englander, was raised to detest everything about the Yankees, most especially that they had won 20 World Championships since the Red Sox last World Series victory in 1918. That's as of the 70s.
Yeah.
The game on May 20th was the first of 4 scheduled. In the 6th inning, Piniella slammed into Fisk at home plate as he tried to score on a single. Piniella was out, but Fisk didn't wait for the umpire's call to deliver his own verdict on the collision. The Red Sox catcher started punching Piniella.
Oh.
The benches emptied in a flash. Mickey Rivers and then Greg Nettles grabbed Boston starting pitcher Bill Lee from behind, the old spaceman Bill Lee, with Nettles throwing the pitcher into the infield grass on his left shoulder. When Lee came at Nettles again, he got the worst of it again and later left the field with torn ligaments in his left shoulder.
Dang it.
Not good. Lee had won 17 games in each of the previous 3 seasons, wouldn't rejoin the Boston rotation until September. The team split the 4-game series, but Billy's team had made a statement. Randolph said, "We had become like Billy, defiant, backing down from no one, willing to do anything to win. There's no question we took on his personality." So the Yankees had a 10-game lead over the Red Sox by the 4th of July and never looked back. Okay. This is more from the FBI letters here.
Oh, boy.
More from FBI shit. Different people now. Enclosed for the Bureau is the original and a Xerox copy of a letter postmarked Brooklyn, New York, dated 6/8/76, addressed to Mr. Billy Martin, care of the New York Post, the newspaper here. This letter was forwarded to Yankee Stadium by the Post. This letter could be considered threatening in nature. having a deadline of June 14th, 1976. Okay, let's find out what the letter says here, because it's pretty funny, actually.
From the FBI?
No, this is a letter. The FBI talking about a letter someone had sent to Billy.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah. Dear Martin, how would your wife and kids get along after you're gone? Did you write out your will yet? This is in somebody's broken handwriting, so it's hard to read. Don't wait until it's too late. Do your wife... Oh, my God.
A favor?
No. Do your wife have to go out and sell her cunt again?
Oh, my God. Again.
Again is the word that really makes that. That makes it funny. It was his wife go out and sell her cunt. That's just crass. Again that's kind of funny. I got to be honest with you. You better hurry up. You have until Monday night, June 14th.
Or else she's going to have to sell her cunt again.
She's going to be selling her cunt. And I'm not even buying, so I don't know where she's selling it to. Holy shit. So he's building a winner. There's all these articles all through the season about how he's, no one's laughing at Billy anymore. Mm-hmm. Billy is getting these guys fucking ready. Martin said it was an overhauling job from the basic foundation. The last 2 months I was an observer. I didn't like the execution on the field, and I didn't like what was going on in the clubhouse, meaning the last season he was here. So I just sat around to just, get an assessment of everything last year. But now this year I'm ready. He said, on the field, the execution and discipline was very poor. They missed the cutoff man all the time. So often it was unbelievable. And they were bringing every Tom, Dick, and Harry into the clubhouse. It was chaos.
Yep.
Yeah, the cutoff man, an ex-second baseman, really gets pissed when you miss the cutoff man because that's him. Don't miss me. I catch it, relay it. What are we doing?
Yeah.
You don't have confidence in me is what you're saying to him. So, yeah, he's talking about discipline's got to start in the clubhouse. You can't have a country clubhouse. Country club clubhouse. Yeah. Last year, the game would start, and some of the players would come out to the bench an inning later. Now the players fine each other if they're not out there for the anthem, and the guys who aren't playing aren't complaining and moaning. That's the way it was with a winning club. That'll fall apart here later on, though, as he's going to fight with Reggie Jackson when he comes in and everything else. It's going to be real bad. September 1976, here's a story from Dick Young, a daily news writer, called Young Ideas.
Nice.
In the first inning the other night, Mickey Rivers hit a ground ball to shortstop, and suddenly, from a tremendous hustling ball player who was excited the fans and his teammate, Mickey Rivers turned into a bit of a dog. He did not run out the ground ball, and when Mark Wagner bobbled it, there was time to pick up the ball and throw to first for the out. The real Mickey Rivers, as distinguished from the man who dogged it, would have beaten it out. I was inclined to give him the benefit of the doubt, to concede that perhaps his legs were troubling him because he did complain of them a few days before that. But later in the game, he broke for second on a steal, and even later he outlegged a bunt for a base hit. So I must assume if he could run then, he could have run in the first inning. Billy Martin, when asked about the incident, said, quote, "It won't happen again, I guarantee you that."
He's going to put a stop to this.
Yeah, they say Mickey Rivers has become a star and is seeking special privilege. Billy Martin is the boss. To the boss, there's no such thing as special privilege. It has led this to a strained situation, a condition Mickey Rivers cannot win. Bigger stars than he have been traded away. You needn't think too far back to remember Bobby Mercer. His departure shocked a few Yankees fans and a few Yankees players. Before that, Casey Stengel unloaded some biggies who defied his authority. Casey warned them and he didn't heed it. Mickey Rivers, too. Sparky Lyle through the whole book. He gets pissed off at Billy for this. He loves Billy and all this type of shit, but he said he doesn't like the way Billy uses him as a reliever.
Yeah.
He was a Cy Young Award winner, and then they bring in Goose Gossage.
Oh.
And fucking the next year, and he's a setup man after that. And he's like, I'm not a long reliever. I was the Cy Young Award winner and a fucking closer. Just because I can't throw 100 doesn't mean I can't get guys out.
I'm still a great fucking pitcher.
Yeah, and he also got mad at the way he handled Mickey. He always, a million times in the book, he said, just leave Mickey the hell alone and let him do his thing, and he'll do great. Just leave him the hell alone. Yeah. Got to leave guys alone. Billy gets, some guys you got to ride, some guys you got to leave alone. And he goes, Billy sometimes doesn't know the difference between those two. He just rides everybody. Casey Stengel used to say to his players, a moving van is going to back up and hit some of these guys in the ass. That That is fucking funny.
On their way of fucking out the door. That's very funny.
Yep. Billy said, I don't know why, but every once in a while, someone will test you like little kids. And like little kids, you got to slap their hands when they break the rules. I treat them like men as long as they act like men. When they act like kids, they got to be punished.
You bet.
Twice within a week, Mickey Rivers tested Billy Martin. They said the team was in Baltimore the first time. Mrs. Rivers had showed up unannounced. Martin and Rivers had words about it.
Oh.
Other players have their wives on the road, Rivers said, feeling persecuted. He said other players ask permission before the trip. That's the club's rule, stupid. Yeah. So they said the club rule, and many teams have it, is that a player must receive permission from the manager to take his wife on a trip or to have his wife join him somewhere along the way. This reduces the risk of surprises, and for the traveling secretary who has to juggle rooming lists to different roommates and shit, and for the players, they got to know ahead of time. So the manager of another team who has a similar rule once told me, I have 3 wives on this club who like to show up by surprise on the road. Wonder why. Yeah, they're trying to catch somebody.
A couple of assholes in that clubhouse, it feels like.
Yep, and he says, suppose one of them sees other things by 2 other players. Right. Then they're in trouble. You can see what that does to your ball club. Same reason why they didn't want a wives club in the last one. A few days after the unexpected wife incident in Baltimore, Rivers showed up late for a doubleheader at Yankee Stadium. He wasn't just late, he was practically absent. Instead of being there 2 hours before the game, as per the rules, he got there 5 minutes before. Can't do that.
No.
And he was scratched from the lineup, and it cost him $500. He said traffic was heavy. And Billy said traffic was heavy for everyone.
Yeah.
Fined, and you're sitting on the fucking bench. Yeah, exactly. But Billy said, Mickey's having a great year, but I don't bend the rules for that. If one man gets away with something, it's a disease. It spreads like cancer and destroys your team. So, yeah. Anyway, they won the AL East by 11 games over Baltimore, so absolutely sailed, cruised.
Yes. Yeah.
This is the first time they've been to the playoffs since -- They played Kansas City, and then, like we said, later on, they're going to lose to Cincinnati.
Right, yeah.
So here's a little story here. ALCS championship here. They said Martin's choice of Ed Figueroa to pitch the decisive Game 5 at Yankee Stadium was controversial, as Figueroa had not pitched well in the late season and had lost Game 2, but was in good form and helped the Yankees to a 6-3 lead in the 8th inning when George Brett, tied the game with a 3-run home run. Martin did not let the home run faze him and had a verbal exchange with the next batter, John Mayberry, which helped wake the Yankees up from their stunned disbelief at Brett's home run. From the book, it said the next pitch to the next hitter, John Mayberry, sailed high and hard over Mayberry's head. So they threw at Mayberry. Yeah. After dunking, Mayberry glared at Billy, who yelled back, "What are you looking at? Get your fat ass back in the batter's box."
It's a fat ass back there.
That's great. Yankees first baseman Chris Chambliss drove the first pitch of the bottom of the 9th over the right field wall, garnering the Yankees their first pennant since '64. And Billy's first trip to the World Series as a manager. Yep. Yankees faced the Reds. Martin was ejected from Game 4 at Yankee Stadium after rolling a baseball toward umpire Bruce Froemming, the only Yankee to ever be kicked out of a World Series
Wow.
game. Jesus Christ. You can't get kicked out of a World Series game, but maybe he was trying to get the team fired up.
Sure.
That's all it was, I think, probably. In his mind, that's what he's trying to do. Now, Lou Piniella here from the book, they're talking about this. Lou Piniella, a close witness to the last 15 years of Billy's life, has always viewed the '76 season as pivotal, necessary step in the Yankees' evolution into a championship team. Piniella was Billy's kind of player. He smoked, he drank, swore like a sailor, and played with fury. He likes that. On the field, he's always got a case of the red ass, Billy said of Piniella. I like that about Lou. I love that. That's just a baseball term, the red ass. I love that. But off the field, Piniella was astute. He successfully made his own investments in the stock market and real estate. He was well-read and a sage observer of people. That's why he's a good manager later.
Right. Yeah.
Someone who saw the little things. Piniella would notice when one reporter had started cinching his belt notch tighter or looser, or when one had stopped wearing a wedding ring.
Oh.
To this day, Piniella believes that Billy had a plan for the Yankees, even if it included losing the World Series. Piniella said, I'm not saying he wanted that, but getting there and getting whooped was part of the learning curve. We needed that to get us hungry again. We needed to see the big stage before we could own it.
Okay, fair enough.
Here it is. This is what it feels like to get your ass kicked on it. That felt bad, right?
That's not fun, right?
Yeah. He said, the day after we were swept, I went to see Billy at that hotel in Hasbrook Heights where he was living. We had a drink. Let me tell you, he was fine. He wasn't beaten. He knew what happened, and he knew what we were going to do next. He looked me right in the eye, and he said, Lou, we're going to get a player or two, and we'll win everything next year. You wait and see. He is once again named Manager of the Year.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So it goes on to say there was an inherent pressure on Billy in the time between 76 and 77 seasons, and everyone knew it. Mm-hmm. As columnist Dave Anderson wrote in the New York Times, Billy Martin knows that many baseball people consider him a one-year manager because he's done great twice and then he burns out. Billy knows that many baseball people will be surprised if turmoil does not develop on the Yankees next season. It's been his usual path in Minnesota, Detroit, and Texas. That winter, Billy also came to understand that Steinbrenner was going after Reggie Jackson at any cost.
Right.
Reggie's a giant star at this point.
Get him, no matter what it costs.
Yeah, he was the big gun in Oakland's dynasty that they had. So, yeah, Billy did not try to talk him out of it. He told Steinbrenner that he could use a right fielder.
Yeah.
He said, well, I could use a right fielder. That's fine. Steinbrenner courted Reggie with every inducement he could muster. He took him repeatedly to the 21 Club with the Yankees general manager Gabe Paul. George and Reggie had lunch with the New York mayor, Abe Beam. Reggie had once made the comment, if I played in New York, they'd name a candy bar after me.
Yeah.
Which they make Reggie bars. Yeah. With George's help, Reggie was already meeting with Standard Brands about producing a Reggie candy bar. He's like, I can get you a candy bar. You want a candy bar? Sure, they'll make one. Jackson signed a 5-year, $2.96 million contract with the Yankees, which is enormous. Yeah. I mean, that's insane. Billy was not invited to the news conference. Oh, wow. Billy later wrote, I kept reading about George taking Reggie to lunch at the 21 Club, and I was sitting across the river in my hotel room the entire winter, and George hadn't even taken me out to lunch once.
I'm a little jealous now.
Wow. Reggie told a reporter, it's going to be great with the Yankees because George and I are going to get along real good. I said to myself, you're going to find out that George isn't the manager of this fucking team. So
I am. So you better suck up.
Going to be me, asshole. Yep. So that's what he ends up getting. He's getting, he's offered a king's ransom, they said. I guess the Padres offered him more than $3 million.
Wow.
While the Expos offered him slightly less than $4 million.
What?
The Dodgers, said by Padres owner Ray Kroc to be Jackson's real first choice, didn't offer a money package close to the other three teams. That's why he went somewhere else. So here he is. Why did he accept the Yankees deal? They said probably because of New York and probably because of George Steinbrenner, a source close to the negotiation said. Mm-hmm. He said he found the Yankees to be fair gentlemen to deal with.
Okay.
And Reggie is just
Livid.
Him.
Yeah.
No, he's happy now. But him and Billy are these giant personalities.
Yeah.
They're giant.
Going to clash.
And Reggie does not have this, you find me if I don't run. And I'm a star and I deserve special treatment.
Well,
that's
Mr.
Reggie's.
October.
That's Reggie's thing. Well, not yet.
Not
but
yet.
He will be.
Yeah.
In his mind, he was always Mr. October, though. That's the thing. When he was at ASU, he was Mr. October.
He shows up when he needs to show up, for sure.
And Billy wants him to be a great star, but also play like everybody else because Mickey Mantle still showed up on time.
Yeah.
That's his thing. I hung out with Mickey Mantle, Whitey Ford. They did everything they had to do. You a bigger star than Mickey fucking Mantle? I don't think so. That was his thing. You got a bunch of rings and triple crowns and shit because Mickey did. Fuck are you doing? So, from the book there, it says Reggie never contacted Billy after his introductory news conference. Billy did not reach out to Reggie.
Oh.
It might be customary for a manager to call a new player signed to his team, especially a player of such renown. It would also be more than customary for that manager to have been invited to a splashy news conference announcing the acquisition of a celebrated new player.
Yeah, that's fucking cool. You want that.
Yeah, but George wants Reggie to be his friend because he's a big star. He doesn't want him to be Billy's guy because then they'll be against George. So if it's Bill, he wants it to be George and Reggie against Billy.
All right.
Which he should just want him to play
team.
well and we win. Yeah, I don't care if he hates me or likes me or what. It's very stupid. So anyway, neither thing happened, a foreboding and awkward first step in the relationship between Billy and Reggie. Both said the right things when contacted by reporters. Reggie, who did not know that Billy had not been invited, praised Billy for getting the Yankees to the World Series. Billy did not bring up his preference for Joe Rudy or any of his reservations about how Reggie would affect the team chemistry. Billy said, "I'm happy to have another bat in the lineup. Reggie will make us better. He's been a winner everywhere he went, and I like winners. We'll get along just fine."
Super, yeah.
Interesting. Most of Billy's friends and allies now say that Billy was telling the truth when he said he didn't have an issue with Reggie, though perhaps not the whole truth. Eddie Saper, his advisor and legal consultant, said, quote, "Billy had nothing personal with Reggie. The problem was the people that Billy was loyal to on that Yankee team. Thurman Munson, Greg Nettles, and guys like that. Those were Billy's guys. And Billy knew that they had a problem with Reggie, or probably would. They were blue-collar type guys, and Reggie had this big contract, and you could see it all coming. It was going to be trouble."
It's gonna be ugly.
Lou Piniella, a friend of Reggie's when they were Yankees teammates, and a friend of managerial protege Billy in the 1980s, managerial protege of Billy's in the 1980s, agreed, although he saw both sides to the brewing acrimony.
Okay.
He said it was obviously going to be explosive. And Billy was right. It did cause problems with Thurman and Greg. But at the same time, let's face it, Reggie was never Billy's kind of ball player.
Right.
I think Billy did resent him a little bit. He didn't like most guys who called attention to themselves. I have a different take on this for me, personally.
Oh?
Billy doesn't like guys who are physically gifted. He doesn't like a guy who is just a fucking star athlete that always has been the best player on his team. And he looks at that guy as, you didn't have to work hard. You're too talented.
You're just real good at this.
Yeah, he looks at guys like himself
Yeah.
that had to struggle and fight. Those are the fighter guys. This guy, he steps up and he hits home runs and everybody says he's great. What if he starts struggling? He doesn't know how to fix that. You know what I mean? That's how I think Billy, he looks at Munson as a guy like that, pulled himself out of shit. He's not athletically gifted. He's slow. He's a catcher. He's a tough guy, that kind of guy. Nettles is the same thing. He's a dive for a ground ball kind of guy. So I don't think he likes that about him. I don't think, as some people will mention at some point, that they thought it was a racial thing, and I don't think that. I think that's the farthest thing from it. As we know from Billy from the other teams, he doesn't give a fuck what color you are at all. Doesn't care. Play the game. So, and on the other side, Lou says, Reggie had issues with anyone who didn't love him right away. He's a nice guy at heart, but he wants to be noticed. He certainly didn't make it easy on Billy, and Billy wasn't going to make a big deal about Reggie out of respect for the other players who already played hard for him and won a pennant. I'm not going to act like he's something special. Others saw Billy's dislike and resentment as of Reggie from the start. A New York Post writer said he never wanted to give Reggie a chance. That was obvious to me always. He was also a teammate, Gene Tennis, said he was very insecure and sensitive. Another teammate of Reggie's said about Reggie, he's likable but paranoid.
Paranoid about what?
Everything.
Oh. Reggie.
He's a public figure, number one, and a baseball player second, is the way Reggie looks at things. That's just how he is. So no good here. Anyway, Billy, through all of this, he's trying to keep it together, basically. They're talking about here, there's an article that says, Billy Martin is about as subtle as a rooster at sunrise, and Billy likes it that way. I believe in the truth, says the man who last year managed the Yankees to their first World Series trip in a decade. Yeah. The truth usually gets me into trouble, but I can't help it. That's the way I was taught. So Billy Martin spoke what he believes to be the truth when he was asked about the free agent draft, which has thrown pro baseball into a free-for-all among owners. This is when the free agency became a big deal. Okay. He said, I think it's bad for baseball, said Martin, who was at the Boca Chica plugging next week's Yankee greats in invitational golf tournament and softball tournament. I think they've created a monster. All the clubs will have problems. It's like a gasoline war. They can't get out of it right now. They'll have to wait a while. Then someone will have to say, hey, let's stop this bidding war. We're only killing ourselves. The funny part is they did that in the 80s, and they also got charged with collusion and had to pay these guys tons of money. You can't do that.
Oh.
The owners can't all get together and say, let's stop bidding on free agents. That's called collusion.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be, your only interest is supposed to be your team, not the league or anybody else's shit. He said, I have 5 millionaires working for me right now. What do you find a millionaire? 250 grand? It's only going to make my job harder. That makes sense.
Yeah.
He said, I personally don't think we had to get extra players to be competitive. That was Mr. Steinbrenner's decision. Ask my opinion, and I'll tell you that we could have won it all this year without the 2 extra players, which is Reggie Jackson and pitcher Don Gullett. Little bit more about George's micromanaging, and we'll call this a day here. So this is from the book here. Before spring training started, Munson instigated a public snit with George Steinbrenner, claiming that Steinbrenner had promised him that he would always be the highest paid Yankee other than Catfish Hunter, which this is a big deal. He said, you're my highest paid Yankee. Catfish, I had to get him, and he's a winner, and everybody loves Catfish anyway. So that's fine. But he said, basically, you have favored nations with me otherwise.
Okay.
Which I'll match whatever with you. And now he doesn't. He gave Reggie's this big money and didn't give Munson any more. So they said now Reggie's salary exceeded Munson's. Steinbrenner appeased Munson with a few deferred payments, but the bad blood was already highlighted in the New York papers. The atmosphere around the Yankees was tense, not only because of the ramifications of the Reggie signing. Steinbrenner, embarrassed by Cincinnati's World Series sweep, was micromanaging every detail of the team's operations and began to exert the total control for which he would become famous in the next few years. Top executives were fleeing the Yankees' offices in droves, taking other baseball jobs to get away from Steinbrenner. When you get a guy who doesn't know what he's doing, who comes in and wants to change everything and wants to do things, it's horrible for people who know what they're doing. They're like, you don't understand how this works.
Yeah.
Stupid.
They really love to put their stamp on it, the new guy. Yeah.
Well, because it's just all about them. It doesn't matter what happens. It has to be winning isn't enough. They have to win because of me.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's ridiculous. Overall, more than 25 top Yankees front office workers left the team between 75 and the beginning of the 77 season. They left despite knowing what everyone in baseball knew, that the Yankees were a team on the rise. They left because Steinbrenner was an intractable and unreasonable boss. Okay, now, here we go. We'll end here. This is crazy. This is a week before the end of spring training. Last week of spring training, 77. Billy is the safest manager in the majors besides Sparky Anderson, who manages the Reds, to beat them. He took a non-pennant winning team, won the fucking pennant, went to the World Series. Billy Martin is fired before the season starts.
What did he do?
He's fired. This is all Steinbrenner being a jackass, basically. The Yankees and Mets played a spring training game where the Yankees were beat 6-0.
Yeah.
And it was telecast back in New York, of course. So George is pissed off that he thinks that's embarrassing. It's spring training. No one cares. Yeah. So they said when George came striding toward the clubhouse after the Mets game, he's real pissed off. The Yankees not only had lost, they'd been shut out, and instead of starting Reggie Jackson, as Billy said he was going to, he sent him in late in the game as a pinch hitter.
Oh, okay.
Instead of playing the starting lineup all the way, George was saying play to win, and he's like, that's not spring training.
No.
Shut up, you don't know what you're doing. I've done this literally 40 times in my life. You have no clue what you're talking about. So he said he sent, instead of playing the starting lineup, George told him to, Billy finished with a team of substitutes, as you do in spring training. But if you want to know what George was really furious about, it was that he had discovered during the game that Billy had driven to the ballpark in a rented car.
Oh, why?
Half the players were already in the team bus when George came striding toward the clubhouse with Gabe, the general manager. The first thing the players heard was George scream, "I don't care. This has got to stop right now. Do you hear me, Gabe? I've got to stop it right now." Because Gabe's telling him, calm the fuck down. It's spring training. Let the guy manage. Shut up and let him do his business.
George is screaming.
Yep. Into the clubhouse he stormed, a wild man. Quote, "I want to talk to you right now," George shouted at Billy. "You lied to me." Billy knew exactly what was coming, and he said, "I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear that stuff anymore." He shouted back at George. "You heard what I said. That thing is going to stop right now." So Billy said, "You fat bastard, I don't care what you say. I'm going to do it my way. Shut the fuck up and get out of my fucking locker room. You lied to me. You told me you were going to ride on the bus." Billy said, "I'm not riding on no lousy buses. Get the hell out of here. Leave me alone." So Gabe Paul said, "Hey, watch yourself, Billy." He said, "Billy, don't," because Billy got up to punch George. "I'll knock your fat ass out." He doesn't care.
Fight the fat guy.
So Gabe Paul gets in the middle. George was back near the wall about 10 feet away, staring at Billy incredulously. "What did you say?" he muttered, as if he couldn't bring himself to credit what he was hearing. "What did you say?" Billy, Gabe said, don't talk to him like that. And Billy said, then you can tell him. You hear me?
Yeah.
You fucking call him a fat bastard. Either way, he's getting called a fat bastard today. This time, George heard him. You don't talk to me like that, damn it. You don't ever talk to me like that. Billy said, I'll talk to anybody like that. How are you going to stop me?
Yeah, throw a punch.
What are you going to do?
Yeah.
He turned and went striding into the trainer's room with George and Gabe right behind him. Everyone was ordered out. The door was slammed. The screaming went on. George was yelling that Billy had lied to him, and not only about the bus. He'd promised to play the starting team all the way. Billy said, don't tell me how to manage my ball team. I'm the manager. I'll manage how I want to manage. It was an exhibition game. This is not a game. Yeah, he said, this is not a game where you leave your blood and guts on the field to win. It's a game you prepared yourself for a winning season, and that's what I'm trying to fucking do. He said, there's things I have to find out now, if they work or not. And if they don't, I'd rather lose now than later.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what you should do. So he said that's why you see a team that's 4-0 in the preseason in the NFL. That's not going to be a good team.
Not a good team.
Not a good team usually. He should have already found them out, George yelled. You should have already known what the team has. He's like, that's what spring training is for, you fucking fat idiot.
You should have figured that out before you got here.
Yeah. He said the season's starting in a week and you don't have the team ready. So they said they were on opposite sides of the trainer's table, shuffling back and forth. And as Billy was shouting back that you didn't prepare for a 162-game baseball season the way you prepared for a 14-game football season,
right?
Not the same, his fist went slamming into the big bucket of ice in which the pitchers soaked their elbows. The ice cubes and the water went splashing all over George.
Well, yeah, because that ice is too warm.
It's too warm. Get me colder ice. George went into a total rage. Quote, I ought to fire you, he screamed, wiping off his face, digging ice cubes out of his pockets. You want to fire me? Fire me, but leave me alone.
Oh.
George sent for Coach Yogi Berra and offered him Billy's job on the spot. You're the manager, he said. Yogi, not being one of your more excitable men, said, no, take it easy, George. That's Yogi's not. Yeah, Billy's a good manager. You don't want to go doing anything because you're mad now.
Right.
And George yelled, the job is yours. When they came out of the trainer's room, Billy was very subdued. It must have been some drive back to town in that rental car because at that moment, Billy was fired.
Uh-oh.
The next morning, they got together in Gabe's room for breakfast, and Billy was unfired.
Welcome back.
This is you can't run a team like this.
No,
George,
that's
this is a
turmoil.
crazy way to run a team, or anything. Or you can't run anything like this at all, as we've seen.
You can't have any relationship at all that is like
no. You can't fire people because they don't have unwavering fucking fealty to every whim you have. That's what dictators do and shit. And that's what George wants to be, a dictator. He wants to show he's a dictator. You can tell there's a very common asshole quality here. So he gets unfired. From then on, Billy rode in the bus, and he never yelled at George in public again. But whenever Billy expected to be fired during the season, he would tell the writers from the moment those ice cubes hit George's face, he knew his days as a manager of the New York Yankees were numbered, which is fucking funny. And we'll get into the rest of that because there's some stuff about it. They were just joking and shit like that. So it's
just jokes,
pretty,
man. No big deal.
It's just joshing. You know what I mean? So we'll get into it tomorrow or next week tomorrow and figure it. Imagine if we did this every day.
Oh,
Jesus Christ. God. So there you go. There is Billy Martin, and he's really going to get cooking here soon.
I can't wait.
He's going to be fighting and getting fired, and there's racism claims next week that are pretty crazy. So we'll get into all of that and more next week. Before that, though, definitely head over to shutupandgivememurder.com. Get your tickets for live shows. Only ones left for Small Town Murder at this point in the year is Philadelphia. There's a few tickets left there. They're just about sold out. Definitely sold out in Washington, D.C. Hard sellout. You can get tickets for the virtual live show, though. Anywhere in the damn world you are. Doesn't matter. Anywhere you are, you can sit there in your pajama pants, drinking your own booze, and watching what is exactly like a regular live show. The screen and the pictures and us and the jokes and everything like that. Crazy murder story with a Halloween theme, by the way. It's Thursday, October the 30th. It's available for 2 weeks after that as well. You can watch it 100 times. You can buy it anytime in that 2 weeks. Do what you want with it. We're going to be wearing funny costumes because
like idiots.
We look like idiots every time we do these shows, so that's a lot of fun. We can't wait. Get in there and get those tickets. Shutupandgivememurder.com. You can follow us at Crime and Sports on social media. for sure. Definitely get yourself some Patreon. My God. Patreon.com/crime in sports is where you get all of the bonus material. Anybody $5 a month or above is going to get everything that we put out.
Everything.
We're talking hundreds of back episodes of bonus stuff you've never heard immediately upon subscription to binge on. New ones every other week. One crime in sports, one small town murder, and you just get them all.
Yeah.
This week, we're going to talk about heaven. It's beautiful. It's
right there.
idyllic. We're going to talk about, for crime in sports, major teams relocating and the drama behind relocations. Teams sneaking out in the middle of the night and shit like that. I'm fascinated with teams moving and folding and defunctness and all that kind of
reasons
stuff.
and all that stuff. Yeah.
It's so much fun how sad the fans are and everything. And then for small town murder, we are going to talk about, I found several lists of basically the most haunted places in every state. So we're going to find out what are just ridiculous and maybe what's actually creepy out there. Right. So that'll be fun shit. That is patreon.com/crime in sports is where you get all those more. And you get all the shows, Crime in Sports, Small Town Murder, both episodes every week, and your stupid opinions, all ad-free with your Patreon as well. You can't beat it. And we're so excited that we need to give you a shout-out as well. Jimmie, hit me with the names of the most fantastic goddamn people on earth who deserve all the shouts that we could possibly give them. Hit me with them right now.
This week's executive producers are Kip, Kristen, and Jamie, who don't want us to forget about Julie Berjaker, who she passed away a couple weeks ago.
That's sad. We're sorry.
She was a wonderful gal, and we've met her before. And and she was in the hospital when we were in Grand Rapids. Yeah. She didn't make it. It's too bad. She lost the battle. But we'll never forget her for her valiant effort. Wonderful woman. For
sure.
Other executive producers. Corporal Carl Kirshner is back. Do you remember him?
There he is.
What a guy. Corporal Kirshner. Yeah. Gary Howard is in Edwardsville, Illinois.
I'm sorry, Gary.
Yeah, and then
Good to see you.
Shasta.
I think Jimmy's just bit his tongue real hard. He's trying to.
And that's her first name. And then Shathestathisha Smith.
Oh, Smith Jones. Doe.
Thank you, guys. You're the best.
Thank you.
Other producers this week: Liz Vasquez, Peyton Meadows, Ryan Bender, Happy Hour in Memphis. Chicken in Memphis. Careful out there. Janice Hill, Amanda.
Thank you, Janice
Alverson. Putt Bam. Put Bam. I think it's supposed to be Putt Bam, but you put one T. That is Put.
That's Put.
Yeah. Rebecca Kennedy. Camille Vegas. Man Smoon. What is that? Man's Moon?
I don't know. That sounds like a storm.
Yeah.
Is it a monsoon? It's a man-smoom.
Or a big ass with a very short butt crack. Irene Castillo, Devin Graham, Clinton Persinger, Zendro would know last name, Helen's mom, Danielle Bush. Or
speaking of, your ass crack tells you how big your ass should be, by the way. It's a guide to exactly how big it should. I don't know. I think so.
I'll bet you're right.
I think it's. I would be just
you're right.
the top of my head. It's
have
like,
a look-see at it, and then be like, I got work to do. If it's smaller than.
I don't know.
Or bigger than, you got work to do, too.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, either one. Jeez, I got to put some ass on me. God damn. Eat some more cheeseburgers. Fuck.
Danielle Bush. I don't know if that's ownership or not. Troy Blurbins. Wyatt Sheldon, Alexis Kaiser, Sherry Rushing, David Brucker, Kyles Wilson, Kyles plural, Valerie Ryman, Subtle T, 3 owls, not just 2, Nancy Berling, Josh would know last name, Emily Silva Knox, Darnell Swallow, I don't know if that's an order.
Leave that alone.
Young Jung, Albert Lucas, Crystal Jackson, Megan Peterson, Tortelvis, Jason Ulrich, Caroline Russell, Dana Isaminger, Kimmin Wilson. It's probably just Kim Wilson. I'm sorry. The N is right next to the M.
We can't help it.
Laura C. Yucky Bacala. I don't know what that is. Bacala. Yucky Bacala. Alexis Jones. Drew would know last name. Bailey Commons. Whitney Painter. Eric Willoughby. Curtis Hardin. Patrick Murphy, Michael Mara, Amber Withy, Jim Landrum, Kylie Tabor, Aileen McGar, Carrie Ann Ray, Stephanie Blanco, Kamia, Camilla Hamilton Dorsey. Allie King. Brittany Secord, not second. It's an N instead of an R. Oh, wait. Secord, Madison with no last name. Terry Wolf, Chris with no last name. Samurai Spiros, Ryan Huff. Mark Allen, Jay Cohorst, Kaylee Mortal. Ben Atkinson, Misty Frazier Wasala, Lewis Cook, Dave Gilfert. Yep. Michelle Waters, Jennifer Blanken, Eddie Fogel, Edie Fogel. That's not Eddie. That's one D.
Edie.
That's Edie. Alan Rutledge, D and T. This show, 2 letters, D and T. Tammy with no last name. Rory Peterson, Barbara Myers, Christy Shipman. I shipped my pants. Candy Homan, December Hansen, Melissa Crane, Robert DeGroot, Paula with no last name, Emily Merling, Joshua Ratcliffe, Cam with no last name, Mojo with no last name, Ashley Spawn Rath, Pocahontas 802, Melissa Linthicum, Nick Anstead, Jenny John Tony. What? Jen John Tony. Three words
Tony
right
has
there.
done it again. Yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah. Krista Rummage, Rumage, Jamie Rosa, Amanda with no last name. Amanda C. Also.
You got to roll your R.
Rumage.
There you go. Now you got it.
Clifton Clendenin. That's 2 N's. Danielle Hilton. Jeffrey Perkins, Eon with no last name, Matt Freeman, Chad Phillips. I worked really hard at Spanish, and I still don't know any of it, but I can roll the R's. Dave Livesey, Katie Katz, Josh White, Brianna Collar, Brian Carr. Oh, 2 names that sound very similar, entirely different people. Ash B, Kelly Moeller, Micah James, Clarissa Fleming, L. Ryden.
Explaining it all.
Yeah, she is doing her damnedest. Megan Sear, Benjamin with no last name, Madeline Taylor, Rebecca Murray, Jen Sullivan, Joseph Brown. All rise. The Honorable Gina Breen, Allison with no last name, Robin Balda, Jack with no last name, Laura Hyatt, Tyla Ames, Serena Jean, Jada Genist, Mead.
I'm the Ed Gainist.
Jada Gainist. She's so gain. Mead, 65, Jane Olson, and then also all of our patrons. Those people, don't forget them. They're the most amazing. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, everybody. You
Truly.
Beautiful, fantastic, wonderful bastards. We appreciate all that you do for us, and we promise we'd never come over and punch you in the face like we were Billy Martin and you've done something to wrong us. So thank you so much for what you do for us. If you want to follow us on social media, shutupandgivememurder.com has drop-down menus. It'll take you everywhere you want to go. Get those tickets while you're there, too. See you at the virtual live show. That said, live from the Crime and Sports Studios, we will see you next week.
Bye.